What's good? It's your boy Vin in the
Hello,
house.
Sori here.
Yes,
we
sir.
are straight from the gym, 30 minutes in the sauna.
Ain't nothing. They know Big B handling with the Mac in the act door paneling. I'm rapping because we're about to listen to songs.
Oh, wonderful. Okay,
Rap song. There's a metal song at the very end. But we got some rap songs going on. So as soon as the big homie Negative Vibe shows up, we're gonna be all up in it. Do you have any cornmeal left?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I got one of the cans of sweet cream.
Sweet. Yeah, so once the big homie shows up, we're gonna be riding. Do you want
It's Aesop Rocky? I thought it was Aesop Rock.
Zabdi. What's up, Zabdi? Good to see you. Where are you from, Zabdi?
Okay, I'm going to get the thumbnail up there and put the other thing in there, okay?
It's all good.
So I'm just saying I'm not going to be talking to the...
Zabdi, where are you from, bro? What's your name? Where you from? Who shot your mob ties like Sinatra? Texas. Okay. All right. Texas it is. Shout out to Texas. Long live Texas. Good to see you, bro. Have you come in here before?
Who? What's the name?
Zabdi.
Oh. Didn't those people by the pork look like they were a little Somalian?
Pork?
Yeah, by the bacon.
What are you talking about?
There was those three guys.
No, not at all.
They weren't at all?
Not even close.
The one tall one with the pink shoes looked like he was.
Not even close.
I was like, oh, you're not supposed to be
Negative
there.
vibes.
You're
Negative
not
vibes in the house. Yes,
there.
my guy. The time has arrived, sir. The time has arrived, sir.
You lost track of the time?
Yeah, he's like,
well,
is
good
it time
thing you
already?
showed up.
Is it time already? Yes, it's
here.
time. The time has arrived, sir. Okay, so Brother Ali is actually first. That's gonna be good. And look at him.
You ever heard of Brother Ali before?
Yeah, we've done a couple Brother Ali songs actually.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah, we've done a couple Brother Ali.
Strike that from the record.
Songs. Yeah, he's the big homie.
Is that the one that we listened to? Like he's out in a desert?
I think one of them, he was out in the desert.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Excellent.
I don't know if I remember or not, but yeah.
Okay.
Delaney in his house. What's good, Delaney? Good to see ya. Good to see ya.
Patreon post new.
Oh yeah, you're posting on Patreon that we're live. That's kind of good to let the patrons know where we're at.
Yep.
Kind of good thing to know.
Yep. That's the go around for people. Like if they're not getting their information on, if YouTube isn't alerting them.
YouTube and Facebook.
If YouTube's not alerting them or they're not a Facebook person, it's a way for them to.
Makes a lot of sense. Mr. Exorcism, what's up, guys? Hope y'all been well. We've been very, very well. Been very, very well. What about you, sir? Or ma'am? Brother Ali is your personal role model. That makes me even more intrigued to see that. Why Instagram photos are square? I'm going to have to check that out. I'll tell you what, that Lex Friedman podcast is really, really interesting. Doing well. Catch up on schoolwork because I was sick for a week and a half. Oh, no! What happened, Shorty? Did you get the what do you call it? The plague, as we call it? We call it the plague here. Because I guess YouTube doesn't even want you to mention the...
Oh, that's why you've been saying the plague?
No.
Oh, I thought...
We've got a bunch of things that have, what do you call it? Let's see. We're almost there. Jesse in the house. What's good, Jesse Days, bro? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. All right, let's see now. Where's my guy? Where'd he go?
I'm coming now.
Very interested to hear this Brother Ali song. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
I'm not gonna lie.
Hey guys, what's up, Jesse? Oops, let me silence this. Ah!
What happened?
Delaney, well, when it start, I don't like, it's very weird why I do the things that I do. I don't actually like the sound of my own voice. And so when it comes across the speaker toward me, I don't like it. So I wanted to stop it before it started.
I see. Okay. That kind of makes some
Jesse,
sense.
you guys are quarantined because of COVID?
Oh, no.
That stinks. Yeah, we had the plague run through here as well.
Yep.
I'm finally getting my taste back, which is wonderful.
Thank God that I don't have any taste. I can't smell that disgustingness that you have there.
My soup. I'm eating cream of broccoli, but it has like a lot of cheeses in it.
Disgusting.
So it's completely not healthy, I don't think.
Absolutely terrifyingly disgusting.
Actually, to be honest, my doctor was like, your cholesterol is a little high. She's like, you need to do more exercise and cut back on the cheese.
What she said, your doctor said what now?
She said that cholesterol is a little too high.
So what did she tell you to do?
More exercise and less cheese. What, Vin? Are you judging me?
No, we'll just wait till you're done your food and then we'll work.
No, I'm ready.
We're not going to do that.
I'll stop eating. Jesse, you have see, I don't think our symptoms got crazy that between the two of us. Like to me, it just felt like a flu, but we had the vaccination. I
didn't feel like the flu.
What'd you feel like? I thought you were acting like the flu.
No, it wasn't. The thing that bothered was the muscle aches because I wasn't able to do my regular exercise.
Oh.
I've only had the flu about 2 or 3 times in my life, and when I had those, I couldn't move. I didn't move at all when I had the flu.
Oh, really?
Nah. But
wow.
No, I was still able to do my planks and all that other shit. Still able to do, whatever. Because I determined to myself, I was like, I'm going to adjust my workout regimen, but I'm not going to completely not do it.
Oh. Yeah.
And it worked.
That was smart. Dwayne, you got your booster? I think we're going to go for ours, too.
Yeah, mild symptoms,
Jesse,
no smell.
I lost no taste, no smell. It's very, very frustrating. My taste is coming back. My smell
felt a lot worse. I took.
Oh yeah, Jesse said the same thing.
I used to take Theraflu. I took Theraflu when I had the flu. I took a couple Tylenols. I took 4 Tylenols, and once those kicked in, it was pretty manageable. So I started doing I did my workout regimen in the middle of after taking the Tylenols, and it worked.
Oh really?
Yep. What's up, Rachel?
Wow, Jesse. He still did his 2-mile run.
Oh, Aesop Rock. Yeah, let me update the stream title real quick.
Why? Was I right? I was right. Wonderful. Rachel, did you do your booster as well? Different dude, because Vinny's great too. That's funny. I've never been someone that likes taking any sort of drinks when you're sick.
I think it's updated now.
Dayquil and all that.
What's up, fellas?
I've never tried it. Maybe it's wonderful. I've never tried it.
Oh, the flu shot hurts. Don't you have to wait 6 months after the vaccine for the booster? I'm not sure.
We're not familiar with that, but
I don't know.
We've got our dates, so we'll find out.
I don't know.
Maybe it is.
I figured they'd ask you that in the questionnaire, huh?
Well, I don't think the booster was... Well, they probably do when you go for the booster, but I don't think that it was even being discussed when we got our shot.
Okay, guys, we're heading right into it. The first song is from the big homie Brother Ali. The name of the song is All You Need.
Oh.
That should be a very interesting one. You guys know the deal. The commercial's on the way. We'll be right back. I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at Sori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village. Facebook.com/Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed.
And a child shall lead them.
Child shall lead them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a pretty, I'd say it's a hip-hop themed night today. We got Aesop Rock, we got Brother Ali.
Yeah, a different sort of night.
It's a different, you gotta expand your horizons, dear listener. Expand your horizons from the big homie Negative Vibes. Negative Vibes. So this should be really, really interesting. So here we go. Song number 1 is from the big homie Brother Ali, and it is entitled All You Need. The lyrics are actually on the screen, so this should be interesting. Here it is, Brother Ali, All You Need. Let's go.
So I never told the world that the first time I toured, came home to find little man had been ignored. 2 years old, got a hold of water you had boiled and burned his little head and face while you snored. You were afraid of bringing him to the hospital, cause 2 weeks ago your mom called the cops on you. Child protection paid a visit, ruled that the crib was unfit to raise kids in. I'm working 10-hour days at the gig then. You were unemployed, all null and void. Now I ain't trying to be no Sigmund Freud, but ain't you supposed to have instinct when it comes to the boy? I called a cab and took him to county hospital. They shaved hair and burnt flesh off his skull, held him overnight to fight infection. I slept sitting up in a chair directly next to him. I just knew you would join us, but instead hopped your ass on a bus, went home and went to bed. That's the very moment I divorced you in my head. God might forgive you for that, I never did.
All you need right now.
Fahim, we can see the throne from here. I may never sit there, but brother, you're the heir. Pull up a chair, let Pop bend your ear. Here, baby, dry those tears. I know you wonder why your mother does the things that she do. Well, it's not cause she doesn't love you, it's because she grew up in something they call foster care. That's when strangers raise you, your mom's not there. Imagine how she felt when she was your age, going from place to place, never feeling safe, never having love, never having faith. She probably thought the world was a big scary place. Where was her mommy at? Well, that's kinda sad. She used drugs to forget the problems she had. They had a new one back then they called crack. When she tried, there was almost no coming back. She couldn't be the mommy she wanted to be. She was chasing the high, all in the street. I tell you no lie, real is all I be. I believe only the truth can set you free. There's a whole lot of pain in your bloodline, but there's a whole lot of strength in the sunshine. Lean back, let the new day greet you. 'Cause you're standing on the shoulders of a people who've been beat down and treated unequal. But the prayer that they made now has reached you. It's plain to see it's true. Beautiful prince, I wish they could see you.
All you need right
Jeez, oh my God.
There's only 2 verses?
What?
That's 2 verses right there?
What do you mean? That's the whole song.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. Oh my gosh.
Negative vibes. I can definitely relate to this story. Holy shit.
My bad. Ooh.
You start first.
I mean, the whole situation. I'm speaking from someone who's not been part of anything like this. So, but when it was talking about the mom and like what she did, I could see like she made all the wrong moves. Like she, you know, it seems like she probably was on some sort of drug, and then that's why, because he talked about the crack and stuff, and she, you know, she was asleep, and why was there boiling water when she was asleep? Like if the kid is 2-year-olds can absolutely pull stuff off the stove, and have no friggin' clue that you know. That's why I trained myself since I was a babysitter, always to turn the knobs, the handles inward, because the kids will pull it. But that, boy, that's such a scary thought. Anyway, so I was thinking she probably fell asleep on the couch because she was high or something, which she should have been doing when she was watching the kids. And then she landed in this situation. He was out of town. And then she panicked because her mom or his mom had called CPS on her a couple days before. And so because she didn't maybe want to lose the kid, or maybe she was afraid of what it was going to say about her as a person and all that. Like, to me, she sounds like a depressed person that was using drugs to help her, because at the end, like, that's the only way that I can understand her not being at the bedside of that 2-year-old. Like, is that maybe, because it says she went back and went to bed, which is usually the behavior of people when they're depressed. They sleep, especially if something gets a little too intense. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But it sounds like she didn't bring him, and then it started some infection. That child had to sit like that for days before his dad got back.
Shout out to Melohi for the super chat. We appreciate it, homie.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, when she said, where scroll up real quick.
I don't know where you're.
So it says, you were afraid to bring him to the hospital because 2 weeks ago your mom called the cops on you.
Yeah.
So she didn't bring him to the hospital for a good 2 weeks because
no,
the mom. It looks like the grandmother had called CPS.
Right.
2 years old got a hold of water you had boiled and burned his little head and his face while you snored. And then it says you were afraid of bringing him to the hospital because 2 weeks ago your mom called the cops on you. Child protection paid a visit, ruled the crib was unfit to raise kids in. I'm working 10 hours. Okay, so he came home to find that little man had been ignored. 2 years old, got a hold of water you had boiled. So I don't know how much time went by between when the actual incident happened and when.
Well, it was hours anyway, because he was at a 10-hour shift. 10-hour gig he was at.
Well, he says I never told the world that the first time I toured I came home. So he went on tour because he was rapping and he was doing 10-hour shifts. So he went on the first time he went on tour. Oh my God. He had left his kid with this girl, and then that happened, and then I don't know how long it took.
Right.
For that.
I for some reason thought it was 2 days, but.
So. But ain't you supposed to be? Ain't you supposed to have instincts when it comes to the boy? I called a cab and took him to the county hospital. they shaved hair and burnt flesh off of his skull. So, I mean, that happened one time to my brother, my little brother. It was the first time I remember actually feeling sorry for the homie, because my little brother was, I mean, long story short, I lived in Jamaica, so it was me and my older brother. And then my mother went to America, and then basically she had a brand new family in America. And she went back for us and got us. And while we were at the airport, she's like, oh, here's the pictures of the baby. You know, yeah. And then it turned out to be my little brother. But I never had the opportunity to be a baby. So there was all like, with my mom. So there was all this like rivalry between my little brother and I. Mm-hmm. Well, there was no rivalry on his side because he was a baby. I mean, I was like 4 years old or whatever. And so we lived, first place we lived was in Saco, Maine. We got off the plane. We were in Saco. And I just remember one time, like, this giant, I never heard my brother scream like that before. And, like, he had pulled down some sort of, they were making him milk or something, and he was boiling water. And he screamed. I mean, he went crazy. And my stepdad was trying to stay calm, but you could tell he was, like, he was really, like, freaking out. And my mom is a registered nurse. So, I mean, he had I don't know if he still has it to this day, but he had a little thing on his chest. And we were all kind of like, when he got home, we were all kind of like, is he okay? You know, that time. And I was like genuinely concerned for the homie. But he got in the car immediately. Like, it happened. My mom put some sort of whatever, and they were gone.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they actually left me and my older brother. Junior was 9, 10? No. Junior was 7. So Junior was 7. I was 4. They left us, and they both went to the hospital. Which, you know, I understand. I mean, I didn't have any ill feelings. It too long
to get those kids in the car, and
yeah, it was just too much. It was just too much. They took him straight there, and I think if they wouldn't have done that, I mean, they said something, he had like 2nd, 3rd degree burns or something like that. He might as well have been in a fire, for God's sake. But they took care of him really good, and he was okay. But that's terrible, and it happened on his scalp, so it went on his head.
Oh, jeez.
Could have went into his eye. I mean, thank God, you know, that nothing worse happened. But I'll tell you what, there is nothing worse than being a dad and having I don't even know how to say this, because I mean, a lot of people, if you really watch the channel, you can kind of put stuff together. Yeah. You hear a lot about the deadbeat father, and rightly so. You know, I believe that men should bear the burden of family and society, and so I understand that. But you very rarely hear about the deadbeat mom, or the mom that's just I don't know how else to say, just a complete fuck up. And it happens, and it happens a lot, you know. And the problem for me is, like,
there's more sympathy for moms, and so then it doesn't get broadcasted like dads do.
I just think men generally are not going to go out and make a public spectacle
of that situation.
Like, even in this song, the second verse is him trying to explain to his kid, your mom's really not that bad of a person. Which is because I find myself playing that role in that type of situation, like. But you know, like the most recent issue, you know, and you know, I finally just like that whole meltdown that I had last week was more about the years and years and years of dealing with those kinds of situations with that individual. It wasn't really about that particular situation. But basically, she knowingly exposed herself to COVID. She knowingly did that. Like it was like the person had COVID. She knowingly exposed herself to COVID. Didn't mask, didn't social distance. Obviously, she wasn't vaccinated. She then went and exposed the kids to it because the kids were over. Because, like, we have
she went straight from that COVID person right to the apartment with the kids.
We have 100% leverage in the situation, and you know, we made it so that the kids could see her and she could see the kids because, you know, we're not trying to, you know, whatever. But long story short, we have 100% leverage in that situation, and she went back and exposed the kids to COVID, and didn't tell us, didn't tell the kids until she was massively symptomatic. And if you know this person never goes to the doctor for anything.
I was surprised when I said, you need to go get checked out. And as soon as I said that, she said, yeah, I'm already on the way.
Yeah.
And I said, holy
that's when
shit,
I knew.
it's
That's when I
bad.
knew that she had it.
Mm-hmm. Well, no fight, no nothing. You're just going.
And so like that was like just it was. There we go again, and it's been like that ever since they've all been born. Since all three of them were born, it's been like that. It's just been one thing after another, after another, after another. And a lot of it has been me covering up for her and all the rest of it, and running interference with the kids. I mean, I could just go on for days and years, and that's why when people were like, "Hey, you shouldn't be so mean" or whatever, I was like, "Fucking block this person," because like I had it, I'd had it, and like unless you're in that situation, the rage that you feel. See, the thing is like, if you're a woman, and I've seen this a million times, like I saw it with my mom and my stepdad. If you're a woman and the dude does something like that, they go off and they'll hit you and they'll do all types of crazy shit. And like societally speaking, like that's acceptable. And for me personally, like I don't necessarily have a problem with that. But when you're a dude, you can't do that. And I agree, you shouldn't do that. And I'm glad that you can't do that. But it's unless you've been in it, it's you know, and then you get, you know, people that have never been through that situation that have their judgments and say, well, you should be nicer to this person.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I know.
And all the rest of it. It's like they have no idea, you know.
I did. You used to cover so good
Yeah.
that I thought you were the one. Because, like, you know, you can see, like, with our interactions or something, like sometimes you'll be like, and you get, like real serious, and it can look like, whoa. You know what I mean? And so I thought you were like more like aggressive or something, but you weren't. Turns out everything was on her end, and you weren't saying anything. Oh God.
You know, and I feel
and then
like
slowly I started saying, "Well, that's odd. That's odd. That's odd."
yeah, like she, you know, like, and my thing is, like I said, like as a man, like I feel like, you know, that's a burden that you bear, and that's fine, but the rage that you feel when it's like you're supposed to, and like this person obviously has major issues, and it's like, oh yeah, I mean, it's just strange. But then the second verse is really crazy because I do that to this moment. Like you're always running interference with the kid, and you're always trying to help them understand because they're looking at the way mothers treat their kids. Mm-hmm. Like when I was growing up, all the friends that I grew up with, none of them had dads, so we were all kind of together. But it's very rare that you have a mom that's like that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times there's nobody to relate to in that situation with those kids. Mm-hmm. So it's very difficult because the kid starts looking at themselves on what's wrong with me and that type of thing. And so you're trying to find a way to, and at this point he was still with her. He said, I divorced you in my head, but I was still with you. This was unforgivable. Yep. And there were so many.
Head?
Yeah. He said, that's when I divorced you in my mind or my head or whatever.
Yep, you're right.
And like, there were so many times I'm like, okay, I'm done with this person. But then it's like, yeah, you got kids with this person. Mm-hmm. Plus, you know, this guy's probably Islamic or Islamic background in Islam. Like, you can divorce. There isn't really a lot of bars to entry for divorce if you want to divorce in Islamic theology, especially if you're a dude. Whereas in Christianity, if you're trying to follow Jesus, I mean, it's very, very difficult to have a divorce. So, and to reconcile it with trying to follow Christ. And so, like, it was infuriating because my thing was, okay, like, me and you are done. Me and you have been done for a very, very long time. But I was willing to completely do the stay together for the kids thing, the whole 9 yards, you know. But she, man, when it's hurting your kids and it's affecting your kids, but the person can only think about themselves, like, it's the most infuriating. And then it's like when it's a woman, you're expecting her to have some maternal instinct, like he said, like, you know, like, I'm not Sigmund Freud, but aren't you supposed to have some sort of instinct when it comes to the kid? And then, you know, it got to the point where I was like, what the fuck? What did you expect to happen? Like, these are, you know, it was dumb shit like, oh, they're not letting me sleep. It's like, yeah, like, babies will, that's what, you know, and, you know, we're talking about, you know, really violent kind of outbursts because a baby's like keeping you up at night. Like, are you fucking mind? Like, it was just an insane. But then as your kids get older, you start to see that they're so hurt, and you're trying to explain to them, no, it's not that you're unlovable, and it's not that you're, your mother came from a very bad upbringing and all the rest of it. Of course, it sounds like excuse making for the person. It sounds like excuse making for the parent. But in reality, it's like when you got with this person, you knew that they were whatever. And you were able to do the arithmetic and see past that and say, yeah, but you're still a good person here and here. But when it comes to your kids, you really believe like, yo, they would change for the kids or what? No, they won't. No, they won't. If they're a psychopath, and like literally a psychopath, this person is a psychopath. Like, that's not, having kids is not going to change their psychopathy. Like, kids are not, like, go to any psychologist or any professional. A child does not cure pathology. And so, he's only talking to his son here because he's apparently wiser than me. Only had one kid with this person, but
honey. Oh well, I don't. Never mind.
And there are multiple people. Like, I've had M Death fan understands. There's another guy, I don't want to speak for him in here, but he and I talk a lot because he and I are like, it's almost a mirrored situation. And, we kind of help each other through it. But unless you it's a very lonely feeling as a dude. And I'm sure as a woman, I've seen it because my mom, there's some very bad situations. You guys know we ended up in a homeless shelter, abused women's shelters, things of that nature. But there are structures set up for women in those situations, and society looks at women in those situations, and there's like societal punishments for men who are like that. There are not many societal punishments for women who are like that. So if you're a man, a lot of times you're just suffering in silence. And I don't think the way that I handled it was the right way, but at the same time, it's like,
where were you going to go to get some guidance on that?
You're not. There's not a lot of help out there for dudes with a psychopathic woman who's out there like.
It's true, like
fucking up your kids, and there's multiple ways. Like, there's a physical stuff like that type of negligence, but there's also the like this person, for example, after the whole COVID situation, the kids were so overjoyed because I haven't seen my dad in like 20 plus years. They've never met him. Broken family, whatever, and God's really starting to repair that relationship. So their cousins were going to be there. Dad's going to be there. Like, it was this big giant thing. They were super excited. And her fucking selfish decision that she made, that we exposed our kids to her because we're trying to be, over the top gracious to her.
Honestly, I don't think I'm doing it much for her.
Right.
I think that ended a long time ago.
No,
At this point, I'm only doing it for the kids. That. But, even I got to the point where I told her this last time, I said, I'm not covering for you any friggin' more. Because now I feel like I'm lying to the kids by saying, well,
hey,
like,
Ben, rock and
she's
roll,
trying, buddy. Or, I still found myself saying she has made some improvements because she has.
Yeah,
But anything that I say moving forward is only for the kids. Like, what's going to be most helpful for them. They're frustrated about it. They're hurt about it. And, not being able to see their family. They were talking about it last night. And, I was thinking, is this words for the wind? Is this, I was just trying to let them have that space because they were talking amongst themselves, but I was in the room. And they're very hurt, very frustrated.
And the thing is that she, and when I say psychopathy or sociopathy, like, she came back like 2 days later and said, well, I could have got it anywhere. It could have been at a gas station. She had this very nonchalant.
She said this to the kids.
Which is, so here they are broken up. They were about to see their granddad for the first time. They're about to see their cousins and all that for the first time. And they were really excited. And they get this crushing news that they can't go. And then 2 days, they're all broken about this. And then, one of them had to be in quarantine. They're like, put her in the basement in isolation, which we couldn't do that. We just didn't have the emotional strength to do it. Because our family... Our family here, we are so close, like, it's insane.
I know.
Because we do homeschool together, we do the business together, we do, like, it's a legitimate clan. Like, it's insane. So we just couldn't do it. And so it was just, they just cycle through the whole house, because we have little, we put a little, ICU thing up, but I mean, it didn't work because, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, by the time we found out, everybody had already been.
That's also true.
So
yeah, that's true.
That's... we found out, we immediately went for testing.
Yeah. And
once we immediately went for testing, somebody was already testing positive. So
correct.
By then we had all been,
Correct. So
the kids are like, they're like little kittens, like they'll, like cuddle up with each other watching shows and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're
even
like
the boys.
they're just so close.
Boys are
all
very,
the time.
very affectionate. You guys know how, and they're very, very, which is very affectionate family, and so, so they're all wrecked. And then she comes in like 2 days later and is like, just get this nonchalant, I could have been this, it could have, whatever.
And then she was basically saying she was, she was at peace, everything was good.
That's always about her being at peace. That's the big thing. It's always, and she's in a church group, and they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do because they don't know us.
Yeah.
On purpose, right? Mm-hmm. And I get that. They're it's not their job to be completely objective. Their job is to take care of the people in front of them. Mm-hmm. So they want her to have peace and all that. So she comes, but that's not for her to come back and project that to us. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, not you, but her. The last conversation, like, it's not for you to come with all this fucking mumbo jumbo about how you're at peace with, and you're like. You just ruin these kids' like the next 6 months. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But it's like you could tell when you look at her, she has no
I still don't understand why she called us pilgrims. I've literally been thinking about that every year and again. I don't
she
understand.
Doesn't get it. She doesn't. Like, the thing is, like, she's seen me. Like, when I'm done with people, like, I'm done with people. The only reason.
Yeah, but she knows you can never do that.
That's untrue. Because the minute the minute that I believe that her being around them is worse for them than not being around them, like, she's fucking done.
Honey.
No. See, that's the
but you made promises.
That's the difference between the length of time that both of us know each other. Because and you can even see it in the text conversation, like, once I said a certain thing, like, her entire tone changed. Because she understands certain things about me. You misinterpret things, but that's because you haven't been around long enough. Like,
but your promises that you've made to, not her, but other people, that's not...
What promise? To the kids?
No.
Yeah. That's not the same thing as having my kids around her, though.
Oh, yeah.
Those are completely different things.
I thought you were saying when you're done, you're going to be done. You mean... When you're done with the... Okay, I see.
Yeah, the minute that I, but right now, the way that it is that, especially the boys, my daughter is pretty much done with her. Like,
she was done before that happened, but she said, I'm going to give it another go.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, that's... Like, it's so hard because it's so hard because you don't trust yourself. Like, oh, this is just because I don't like her. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been a parent, I've been a child of divorce too, and a lot of it, like, I'm not gonna lie, my mother kept my father away from us, and she kept saying it was for our own good, but it wasn't. It was just because she had a problem with it.
Yeah, and
I needed my dad growing up, and she kept him away from us. And she was all, and I believed for the longest time it was for my own good. And then now that I've gotten to know my dad, I'm like, no, this wasn't for my own good.
Right.
This was just because you and him had a problem. And the other thing was, you didn't want him telling me his side of the story. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's a lot of that where I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me pause.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's not this situation, because there are people outside of this circle that honestly really should be in her corner more, and they have a different opinion about that.
Who? The kids, you mean?
No. There's a person that, the three of us two and her talk to, the three of us talk to them. And
that
you mean
person the counselor?
should be, okay, well, I didn't know if we were going to say it. But that person was saying...
Yeah, the counselor was basically like, the counselor was like, get away. The counselor was like, yeah. Because I kept saying,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I kept saying to the counselor, like, hey, like, it's to the point where she may never see them again, or she may never see them for a very long time. And the counselor's like, well, I mean... He didn't say, like, whoa, no, it's not what's in the best interest of the kids. He's like, well, you got to protect the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was her counselor. Yeah, he said that right in front of her.
And that's what I'm saying. That's her counselor, and he's saying that. And so that means, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's somebody outside. That's not you that's frustrated, and it's not me. That's somebody else that has nothing to do with our feelings on it. That's what he's seeing when he's talking with her and observing the situation. So,
Yeah. Yeah, so shout out to him for this, because this is a very rare. I'm surprised. Eminem never really had a song like this. I don't think. I'm not sure, but that's probably because he was a little bit dysfunctional himself. This dude, Brother Ali, seems to be extremely functional, high functioning. Got a rap career, doing 10-hour shifts.
Okay.
That type of thing. And when you're a functional person and you're with a dysfunctional woman, like it's hard. Very hard.
I do have to say this, though. In the Bible, it talks about that the older women are supposed to teach the younger women and to raise them to love their families and to run their households and stuff like that. From my experience and in the circles I've been in, that doesn't happen. And
that happened.
So, like,
that
when
happened
he
with
said,
her.
"Oh, it did."
That happened with her a lot.
Oh, okay. Well, I was not necessarily speaking about her. I was just talking about because where he said this line, but ain't you supposed to have? Now, I ain't trying to be Sigmund Freud, but ain't you supposed to have some instincts when it comes to the boy? Like, that gets thrown all over the place, that the mom instincts, blah, 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 maternal instincts. But I think that is true. Like, there are maternal instincts that come in. But I think that there are some people, especially she grew up in foster care, all that. There's a lot of probably dysfunction when she was growing that, there was a fail. And also, like,
especially kids in a foster system where those instincts, she displayed them, because I agree with that. I think that you in a foster system, those kids are pretty much left to the wolves, and if you're not cute and young and babyish, you're screwed.
Well, it's like that guy said, they didn't want a kid. They wanted an accessory that they could
Correct.
add onto their lives and add into their Christmas cards.
And the other thing is, too, is that in the foster system, it's a brutal thing for those kids, because a lot of kids, the adults will take them in and they'll push them back out and take them in and push them back out because the kid is too hard.
Oh, my gosh. See, that's a thing, like...
I don't even know how that's legal, but, I mean, I guess it's one of those things where
what are you going to do if the person feels like they're getting to their... See, that's the thing. Like, when kids have been through a lot, like, they're gonna push the envelope.
Yeah.
Because they're fighting back against, and probably, they're probably trying to see if you're actually going to stick with them or not. Because, we know that as a parent, whatever our kids do, even if our kids got so bad that we had to say, okay, you have to move out because we're not going to let you influence the rest of the batch like this. You refuse. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
If there was something like that, we're not going to disown our kids. And
no.
we're going to still see that. You know what I'm saying? So, but with a foster care child, they don't know where they're at. They don't know how secure they are, and then they can get.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they kids like sometimes I see like in that like there's like stepmom groups and stuff where they'll talk about different stuff that goes on. Well, even like the biological moms, sometimes like biological moms will be like, somebody will come on, they'll be like, this would be like one, my stepson, he's 15 friggin' years old and he refuses to clean his room and it's so disgusting, and they'll like post pictures, but I think it's terrible if they do that. They'll post pictures of the kid's room and he's got like dishes and socks and like, it's just like it's a really nasty room. But that's not like because the kid's been through some kind of trauma or because he's not like yours biologically. Like, and then like sometimes like a biological mom will be like, no, my kid is 15 and I absolutely have issues with this. Like this is not something that's 100%. Localized there. So I think that there are certain misconceptions that people have about kids. Like kids are not perfect and they're going to do all kinds of stuff, and sometimes it's going to be very annoying. Sometimes it's going to make you angry. Sometimes, that's just normal for parenting. Like you're raising kids that have foolishness in their heart and you're trying to help grow them in wisdom and stuff. I was thinking today, so when you were doing that football game with Johan.
Yeah.
And I was laughing because there's such a difference between white parenting and black parenting. And I said, because like he did the wrong move and you were like, come on, Johan, that's a wrong move. Why would you have done that? You should have done this. And like, more white parenting, or the white parenting that I've been around, it's more like, good job, Timmy. Like you tried and
like when I was coming up on sports, like it wasn't like that. Like I said, the kid, in football, the coach's son was a QB. Mm-hmm. And if he missed a route, he'd say, what are you doing? That's a hitch. Like, he got it just like the rest of us did. So I don't know. Like, you came up in I keep trying to tell you, came up in a very, very, very specific like, I'm sure Death fan, like, if his kid was playing sports, he'd say the same thing, especially if it's a boy. He'd be like, what the fuck, man? What are you doing? He probably wouldn't say that, but like Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
that's a race thing. I just think that's a cultural thing where you're from. Like,
Okay, I mean, it could be. In my mind, it separates as race because you're the black experience that I have, and every other experience I have is white, but it's also from
I'm
that same
also the
environment.
outside of your crazy ass subculture. You'll see when we move. Like, you came up in a crazy ass neurotic subculture.
But anyway, I was thinking, like, if you don't criticize your kids for, like, everything that they do wrong, and
Or
you kind of
anything.
just, like, what?
It's not everything. It's anything they do wrong. There's a
Well,
difference.
okay, forget about the word criticize. Like, like, there's stuff that they might do that it's like, okay, that wasn't the best. Well, for instance, maybe they're wiping the counters down, and they just sweep all that crap onto the floor. And then they sweep the floor, and then they wash the floor. Like, everything in the end gets cleaned, but it was not the best plan. Like, sweeping it to the trash can would have been a better plan. And so maybe, like, if you communicate those things, a little bit more gently, and you save the, like, all of that passion for, like, in the game, because you're putting out the passion because you want him to win.
Yeah.
And so you're like, yeah, do this, do that. Where if it's just like day to day, like, hey, maybe the best plan next time would you sweep that into the trash instead of throwing it all over the floor and then sweeping it up and walking through it and all that. You know what I mean? Like, I was just thinking how I think that everybody has a limited amount of criticism or somebody pointing to them and saying, hey, you're doing this wrong and you need to correct this. And people have a limited amount of space for how much of that they can take in a day or a week, in a year. And so if you go after somebody too much, it's just too much. And I think that when I was watching you with the kids, I was like, oh, okay, because you're very balanced at that. Like, you might throw some suggestions but then if there's something very important, then you're going to say, oh, this is, but
it was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was the Super Bowl. He
was
wanted to
playing
win.
Madden.
So he wanted to feed. It's a 10 for me because I don't think I've ever heard a song like this before. Like, that really.
Oh, gosh.
And when you go through something like this, like, you really, really, truly feel like you're alone. And there probably is a religious component that makes it so that you stay there longer than you should.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure.
Because I guarantee you, if I sat down and like itemized the list of my secularist friends, they'd have been like, nigga, we'd have been gone a long time ago, bro.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm going to talk to him definitely, and after this, he's like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's you kind of stay in longer, I think, maybe. But it's a 10 for me because I never even thought, I thought to myself, like, Eminem wrote Kim where he was angry and he wanted, but it's not the same because I never really had that kind of emotion for her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when like I found stuff and like, as far as me and her goes, like, I was like, eh. But the kids, man, like, the kids is the thing where I'm like, I can't. That's the shit I cannot get past. Like, when you start fucking with your kids, man, like, because my whole logic was like, I made that decision.
Right.
So whatever happens to me, happens to me. Like,
Right.
you made that decision, bro.
Right.
But my kids didn't make that
didn't.
decision.
Yeah.
So
It's
that's where,
sad too because when events like this pop off, then they start talking about everything that's happened, and so it's like, oh no, and then sometimes they forget about some of the things, but because there's 3 of them, some will remember and some forgot, and then the ones that forgot get reminded. It's painful. It is absolutely painful to watch.
Yeah, Mr. Negative Vibes is our DJ for the night. Thank you for reminding me. I got to put that up there on the ticker. But yeah, it's a 10. It's a 10 for me because I never thought that there's not a lot of. I don't complain a lot, but there are definitely advantages and privileges of being a male in this context. But this is one of the fallouts is you a lot of times you suffer in silence, especially when situations like this. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I will say, if you're a dude in a situation like this, you got to get help, bro. And it's not about
where do they go for help?
Well, I mean, look, the first thing is if you've got an abusive woman there or a woman that's not fulfilling her obligations as a mother and your kids are ending up in the hospital, you better make sure you get that shit on record because that shit will get flipped on you quickly, bro. Honestly. And the second thing is have a good friend, it's not too late, but it's better than nothing. But I've got a couple people on the channel like that. If I was in that situation years ago, like
could have helped.
I'd have been able to have that conversation, and then M Death Fan would have been like, "Bro, you need to make some calls, man. Like enough is enough."
But I feel like I'm still. Oh, I see what you're saying.
See what I'm saying?
Calls,
and like that's another
dude.
But
not
like
everybody
that's
has
a guy
that.
That's a dude. That's what I'm saying. Is
you only
gotta
have
get
that
one.
now because you're part of a channel that has 170,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
so
but
you
I
can
make
find
the
those
decision.
people.
I make the decision as to who and men know how to do this. You know, like men know how to do this. Like we decide who we're gonna let know.
Yeah, I'm
certain
saying
things
this
and
is
who we're
probably pretty rare, right?
not. I don't know how rare it is because
okay.
we don't talk. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't talk. And a dude that's gonna stay in a
true.
relationship.
You've known a couple people like that.
Yeah, and dudes that are gonna stay in a relationship like this are definitely gonna be. You got to have a certain level of degree of toughness to where to even maintain a relationship like that in the first freaking place. So you're most likely not going to talk.
The other thing that I have to say is I do have judgments toward the mother-in-law for calling the cops and child protective services instead of doing something. Like the dad,
I got no judgments for that lady.
The dad clearly didn't want his kid in that unsafe situation. So if I was going to either call child protective services on my daughter or call the husband and say, yo, the kids are not safe there. Because clearly the dad cared.
Yeah,
I would call the dad and say, hey, this is not a good situation. She shouldn't be alone with the kids. I wouldn't call child protective services first.
Yeah, well, you don't know if... See, that's the thing. You don't know that she called child protective services first. You don't know that.
Yeah, because he didn't say it, so that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
And that woman, it says 2 weeks ago, your mom. Like, that takes a mother a lot to do that to her own child. That takes a lot. So
it doesn't... not necessarily. I know my friend, her mother called...
Well, you know your friend's story. You know your friend's story and your friend's angle. You don't know the other woman's angle. So, you don't know that. So I have no judgment to the woman. If you're a mom and you're grandmother and your kids off doing shit like that, fucking call them. It's better that than a dead kid.
Yeah, but I'm saying she should call the husband.
He's out on tour. And the other thing is sometimes the dude is so, because I'll tell you, in my situation, I was focused on her. Everything was about her, making sure she was good and blah, 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 blah.
And maybe he was the same way, and so she thought
you always end up being like that because she's crazy. So it's like, oh, she's crazy. I got to take care of her because you were with that girl. You already fell in love with her. You committed her before you had. Of course, as a husband, you're going to say, yeah, why didn't you call me? But notice in the song, like, he doesn't have any resentments towards her, towards the mother. So, nah. I have no judgments for that lady. Wow. But anyway, it's a 10 for me because it's something that almost never gets talked about. So, go ahead.
Honestly, like, I think I'm going to silent count this one because it's too emotional feeling, and like the topic itself and, you know, the closest. You definitely had it worse than I did. I'm not saying that. But I didn't consciously choose to have her a part of my life and in the lives of my children. Like, that was already a thing. She was already their mother when I came into the picture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, like,
yeah, I think that's fair.
And the way
that's fair.
The way that it feels from my end, and you have those like mama bear feelings, but then you're trying to let them still have another mom along with it. Just it's messy and it's very hard, and seeing that, you know, that it, and also I think thinking that this is wider, like a bigger issue, is alarming to me. Because I think that I was thinking, well, it's probably just like a random off. But then after this discussion and stuff, and then thinking, oh my gosh, actually, we do know a couple of people that have been in this situation. And if you know a couple of people, like, if I think, I used to tell myself this because I was so terrified to go onto the roller coaster. I'd be like, well, how many people do I actually know that got stuck on a roller coaster? I know people that got in car accidents, so that seems more legitimate to be worried about car accidents. I don't know anybody that got stuck on an elevator. No, I do know somebody that got stuck on an elevator. So I know one person that got stuck on an elevator, but beyond that, like, I never knew anybody that got stuck on a roller coaster. So that was kind of like how I gauged my odds. So this one's not looking good because there's already a handful of people that are in that situation. So too emotional for me. And I feel for that kid. I feel for the dad. The mom, I don't even know how you would get past something like that. Like, if you did that stuff to your kid and you didn't call and you were high or you were whatever, like, oh God. So silent count for me.
Yeah, it's a horrible situation for everybody around. So anyway, thank you, Negative Vibes, for Negative Vibes is actually one of the most,
digging that up.
He's one of the most positive people on the channel. Like, I almost never, like, he's never, like, I give everybody like a. Anyway, we'll talk about it after. Vin out.
Sorry, out.
Go.
I need to start keeping a notebook.
I was gonna say, like, I give everybody like a negative day or two. For the amount of time that we all hang out together in these streams, I'm like, oh, okay. But the dude is generally like, there's one guy that's like always generally positive, but he was having a very, very hard time, especially around Thanksgiving. So he was saying a whole bunch of shit that was out of character. And I was like, man, that's all good, bro. Like, you good. You straight. Don't worry about it. Like, that's what we're all here for. But, like, negative vibes is generally just always been positive around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
But, yeah, shout out to him for that song because...
It's,
Oh, my God. Holy shit. All right, guys. We got another one coming on the way. Shout out to Negative Vibes. Shout out to the big homie M Death fan. All right. I'm Ben.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them. We're missing a teammate. I don't know, guys. I don't know what we're going to do. We're missing a teammate. As you can see, in this ticker up here, the big homie Negative Vibes is
I'm
DJing
here.
for tonight. Oh, I guess they're here. I was gonna say.
We had an escapee. Orion's 2, and he's figured out how to.
We
get
had
out
an
of his crib.
escapee. All right. So here we go. We got Negative Vibes, and the name of this particular John, they're called Johns, is the big homie Aesop Rock. Not to be confused with Aesop Rocky. The name of this one is Fryerstarter.
Okay.
Which is a brilliant little play on words there, dear listener. Fryerstarter, not Firestarter. Fryerstarter. And I do have the lyrics. The lyrics are here. So you're going to be able to follow along with the lyrics. Other people call them lyrics. Other squares call them lyrics. I call them lyrics. So the lyrics are here. The name of the song is
Fryerstarter.
Fryerstarter. The name of the singer is, or the rapper is Aesop or Aesop Rock. You know, like Aesop's Fables. Mm-hmm. All right, let's do it.
Put you up on Bob's Donuts, controller at a warm deep fryer that charm cobras. Mostly it was aggravated ulcers over goat's legs. Will they go for maple custard, buttermilk, or wolf's bane? Later for your Cinderella pulsating crash. I was rotating casts. Picture if you will a witching hour on a weeknight in the trenches, where paranoia dead ends in a bright fluorescent heaven with sprinkles. I know, right? Yum. Whether tummy ache or fever, keep the funnel cake. I'm honey glazed in vitro in a company of similar believers. Sleepless, we hear the wolves breathe and foam at the facial features. Not a yeast, a phoenix and a partially hydrogenated, equal parts flower, faith healing. Might replace your previously nominated Jesus, but only if you're privy to the following secret of all secrets.
Every night at 12 there would march out from the back, but a trail brought dough for the pool of hot yak. Show up around one, never get your got back.
If you're just tuning in, Walk into the light, to the light, to the light.
That is awesome.
A boiled oil too, not for scarping. The CC's a Japanese innovation at screeching a free parking. Purple heart and second chin at beseech him to squeeze the carbs into the motherboard. You could chew the Eucharist in crawler form. Locally a seedy Danish underworld is bustling, where jelly's not a celebrated stuffing, it's a puppet string. Pluck, nose for canola. 5 cow stomachs like a mime with a rope going nowhere fast. Right hand of God on my shoulder, crow's feet swollen, note becoming apple fritters over with folk of opposing cultures. Babysitter, cop, thief, reverend, body glitter, botched C-section. Bronze teeth, each progressively more sequestered, yet is threatened. They'll defend the race and bred as co-defendants. Some lose religion, a view it as superstition. You could tell a friend if you were down to kill them.
Every night at 12 they would march out from the back, but a trail for a dough for the pool of hot gas. Show up around one, never get your gun back.
If you're just tuning in, walk into the light. Walk into the light, to the light, to the light.
It is fantastic.
The fat boys are back. Foam fingers over open arms to feverishly reclaim their stomachs from golden jars. Staggered through the pulse of the gulch on the builder's dividends, hiding high behind his guilty patterned cigar fingerprints. Seething even side fever, sidewalk feeling a little dicey. I'm snake eyes straight to the cake's icing. Might fortune teller up your favorite paper tiger stripe. Great grace invaders, the first name basis patron haters who compromise the palate light and flavors. Silent night, holy night, invite the pious out the pagan. Midnight kitchen door uncaging the enablers like butchers in bloody aprons. Can I get a fucking amen? Hazelnut raiders that are lost navigate consecutive pastries like stations of the cross. No name, no day job, not a boat where it's Virgin Mary toast by the loaf. Thanks, Bob.
Every night at 12 they would march out from the back, but a trail for a dough for the pool of hot gas. Show up around one, never get your gun back.
If you're just tuning in, walk into the light. Walk into the light, to the light, to the light, to the light, to the light.
Okay. Aesop.
About donuts?
Bob's Donuts?
That's what it really was? Bob's Donuts? I thought maybe there was like...
Aesop Rock repping his favorite donut shop. Actually, like, honestly, I'm not going to lie. Like, I've been in the mood for donuts. So, you know, those like donuts that we buy at Walmart? I'm mad because we just did a Walmart run and I forgot to buy those.
Oh,
shits.
yeah. I think if you need them that bad.
Which one? The bread store?
No. Like, I think they have them over...
Oh, really? At Cumberland Farms?
I think so. I've seen them a bunch of times.
I'm going to have to check them out. Oh, well,
at
that's
one of those convenience stores.
That's a situation then. Well, I might have to check them out after this joint. Because, okay, so this...
I want to try to make donuts.
The dude is literally shouting out his favorite donut shop.
That's cute in a way. Like, it was advertisement.
But lyrically, he was a badass with this song, though. But part of me is like, there's got to be a deeper meaning. Let me tell you.
That's what I thought was happening. Because remember you said there was that rap. It was like silent. We're going like G's, like silent.
Real G's
like
going silence
lasagna.
like rolling silence like lasagna.
Yeah. So then it's like, wait, we're talking about lasagna. It had nothing to do with lasagna. It was about actually the G, silent, and then the.
That's like a lie. It's a punchline. It's not really like a. You know what I'm saying? That's not.
Yeah. But
he made the whole damn song, but
it did seem like that was.
Okay. Control the warm deep fryer that charms cobras. Mostly it was aggravated ulcers and over goat's legs. Will they go for maple custard, buttermilk, or wolfsbane? Late after your Cinderella pulsating crash, I was rotating casts. Picture, if you will, a witching hour and a weeknight in their trenches, where paranoia dead ends in a bright fluorescent heaven with sprinkles. I know, right? Yum. Whether tummy ache or fever, keep the funnel cake. I'm honey glazed in nature. In the company of similar believers, sleepless who hear the walls breathe and foam at the facial features. Now the yeast, the phoenix, and the partially hydrogenated equal parts flower, faith, healing. See, that's brilliant, though.
I don't even get it.
He's saying the yeast is a phoenix. You know how the yeast rises after the phoenix rises after destruction.
Yes.
So like the yeast, it rises like the phoenix.
Yep. Yes.
Like he's spending all of these like brilliant cultural metaphors over a donut, bro. And it makes you say like, how could you say so many significant things over a donut? That's ridiculous. But at the same time, it's like, well, how many times do we do that just in general, like over dumb shit? Like people's like rap itself as an art form to some degree has been bastardized that way. These dudes are rapping about money and all this shit and like spending all this like intellectual capital on these clever ways of just talking about money, which at least you can consume a donut.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you can't even eat the thing. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, the escapee has escaped again. I don't know if you can hear him.
Yeah, I'll take care of that situation.
Yeah, to me, it's a very weird thing. I'm not like in that culture, so
What
this
culture?
song is very weird to me.
Donut culture or rap culture?
Either one, really. I've really never been a big donut person. But yeah, that's whole like to make an entire song about donuts, and well, to make a whole rap about it, it's just. I don't know. It was very weird to me. I don't know what else to say. I liked I eventually stopped looking at the lyrics and just kind of like try to feel it, and I liked the feel of it. You know, kind of where it wasn't like crazy, but I liked the feel of it. But it was a very weird song to me, like a whole song about donuts. I don't even know really what to do with it.
Wait, there's such a thing as sour cream donuts?
Oh, okay. Sorry, those are the best. I will say those are very good.
This is the first time hearing of these.
Why would I talk to you about that?
No.
What do you mean, no?
You know how many times we've been to, what do you call that place?
Honey, you know how many times you've told me, don't even bring sour cream near me, ew.
Yeah, I think that's gross.
Yeah, they're sour cream donuts.
That's disgusting.
No, they don't taste like sour cream, though.
I've eaten sourdough bread. Sourdough bread is good.
Sourdough is not the same as sour cream, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I never even mentioned sour. I think those were... seriously, I ate so many of those when I was in college.
See, I didn't... That was something where I thought, when I first came to America, I was like, yo. I saw the Dunkin' Donuts commercial. Mm-hmm. And I thought... But see, I thought, when I was a kid, I thought Dunkin' Donuts was a mythical place.
Aw.
So you had the donut guy. I don't know what the donut guy's name was, but somebody posted the thing, like, it's time to make the donuts or whatever.
Oh, I never saw that.
The Dunkin' Donuts guy.
Honey,
you never saw the Dunkin' Donuts guy?
Are you serious? We had no TV, nothing. Where would I have seen that? I didn't even know there was a Dunkin' Donuts guy. I did know there's a Pillsbury Doughboy.
And Deathfig goes, what the fuck is a sour cream donut? And then Negative Vibe goes, sour cream donuts are really good. Disgusting! Gross! No, but I can't believe you don't know who the Dunkin' Donuts guy is. And he said it's time to make the donuts. Yeah, if you put that in there, you'll see it. Like the guy, we're legit. That guy, yeah, it's time to make the donuts. So
I have seen him actually.
So I asked my mom. I said, "Mom, can we go to Dunkin' Donuts?" And she says, "Yes, of course you'll be able to go. We'll go tomorrow." And I'm thinking, like, to me, because I wasn't from this country, so I thought she was like taking us to Disney World.
That's
it was
what
one
I
of
thought
those things
you were
where it's like,
thinking.
okay, yeah, we're eventually, bro. We pulled up in. The thing said Dunkin' Donuts. I was like losing my shit, bro. I was like, we're going for Dunkin' Donuts on there. And yeah, she went in there. I asked if the guy was there because I couldn't figure it. I didn't understand it. And they said,
"Why are you so cute?"
They said, "No, sweetie, maybe another time." And I said, "Can you call my mom when the guy come in?" So they kind of looked at my mom and so they were like, "Yeah, if he comes in, well," I was like, "Yeah, tell." So I ate the donut. It was a glazed donut.
Honey.
One of our kids escaped. Hold on. Actually, Sori, do me a favor. Let me have it. Hold on. One of the little man has escaped from jail. Sori, let me get him. Hold on, guys. I got it. Let me handle it. You know.
Can you just
Yeah. Do me a favor.
behind the package?
Plug that in. Well.
And look at what he's holding.
Yeah.
All right, well, here we are. Hopefully I'll remember to cut this out of the final editing when the individual videos go up. My goodness. Okay, let's see. Goth Mama, hey, what's up? What? Hey, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hey, can you guys hear me?
Who's behind it?
Yeah, I know.
You get the broom? What was
Yeah,
he
it
doing
was
with the broom?
it was the
The pooper scooper?
no, it was the curtain rod or something.
He's still
I can't. This thing. I seriously don't know how to do it. We're back.
Hello. That's like that my heartwarming story about the Dunkin' Donut guy.
Okay.
They never called me back.
Yeah, well, the guy doesn't work there, babe. They lied to you.
I was lied to as a child. What about now? Testing 129. Can you hear me? Yeah, man. So I gotta tell you, I don't really have much else to say about the song, other than this demonstrates. I was talking to somebody about like a certain rapper. There's a certain rapper we've covered a couple times, and somebody texted me like, "Oh, you should listen to this song," and I said, "I'm not gonna listen to this guy unless I have to."
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy, like. He's not somebody that would have lasted our. But this guy right here, guy, he can rap. I don't know if he's white or black or whatever, but he could. Like you could take a something as innocuous as his first your donut joint, and like put together like decent lyricism. Like the song is not like significant like in the grand scheme of things, but you could tell that this dude is a gifted rapper. Like that's there's difference, like, and you could like look at what he's saying, like for example when he's talking about the yeast being like the phoenix, like that probably went over everybody's head, you know, definitely went over yours. but like that's what I'm talking about, like it's just different. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just when you know that the dude is like lyrical, like this guy Aesop Rock is he is lyrical. Like the dude can rap. Like you look at what he wrote and be like, yo, I could not write that in 5 minutes.
Right. No. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And even if you look, he says in verse 3, he says, I boil oil to
verse 3.
Just stay right there. Verse 2.
Verse 2, baby.
It doesn't matter. I boil oil too, not for scarfing. 4 cc's of Japanese innovation that screech into free parking. Purple heart and second chin. Like, that is crazy.
Squeeze the carbs into
it's beseeching to squeeze the carbs into the motherboard. You can chew the Eucharist in color form. Like, that's crazy. Like, the dude, like, also, is lyrical.
If I was a Catholic, I'm going to have a massive issue with that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but, like, he's actually lyrical. He's actually saying something. So even when he's saying something insignificant, it's still significant. And that's the difference between a really, really, really good rapper and a really, really good, you know, business guy who knows how to manipulate social media and the current zeitgeist. Which by itself is still a skill. That is still a skill. That's still a skill.
Absolutely.
We're in that game. Like that is a skill.
Absolutely.
But people are hearing that I'm dissing the guy. I'm not dissing him. I'm saying I respect. That's a skill that guy is better at than this guy. But this guy, as far as just rap, as far as being at the lunch table, this guy is lyrical. I don't care what he is. I don't know what he is, but he's lyrical. So shout out to the homie. What did he get the song?
8.
I'm going to give it a solid 7. I'm going to give it a solid 7.
All right. Well, there you have it.
I'm giving it a solid 7 because that is all about the guy's lyrical ability. But I will say that it did bring me back to my first Dunkin' Donut. My older brother knew to order a glazed donut. I don't know how Junior knew to order a glazed donut, but he did.
Oh, so you got all that sugar on it?
Oh, yeah. And I initially ordered a chocolate, because you know how I am with chocolate, but then I changed it because my brother, it's my older brother. I was like, oh, it's a glazed donut. I was like, oh my gosh.
Were you glad you switched it?
Well, I mean, I would have liked anything. I would have liked a plain. You know what I'm saying? Like I was
you
from
and
Jamaica.
Johan, that's so.
I never had a donut before in my life. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like I would have taken anything. These kids, they get all this shit since they're babies. So there's no
Right.
Like I almost feel bad for Americans who grew up in America. So because you really haven't been able to experience America as America. It's just been normal.
Yeah, that's true. So I bring the kids for the donuts. Like,
yeah,
really,
like the first time I ran into Ronald McDonald, I was like losing my mind.
Yeah,
like he took me to the little playpen or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have that shit in Jamaica.
To be honest with you, I kind of experienced America not as America because of how strict my parents were growing up.
Yeah.
Because we didn't go having all that stuff. If we got to go for an ice cream, it was vanilla across the board. Like nobody was getting anything special. It was nothing.
Yeah, but you still saw McDonald's. Like my mother pulled in. And I was like, what is this place you're bringing me to? And like the golden arches and the fries and we never had that shit. Then you had Ronald McDonald. Now I'm sure they probably have. But like we had the little Ronald McDonald statue.
Oh, I know those things were so fun.
And the Hamburglar and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then of course I loved the Hamburger because he was bad. You know what I'm saying? I was in the commercial. I think he was stealing everything. I was like, yo, that's my nigga. He's a good one. And I used to talk to him like, yo. Yeah, I was like, yo, I got you some fries, man. Like, I'm gonna hit you with some fries. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like 4 or 5 years old. But
that's true. They used to have the guy in the yellow with the red hair. He was sitting at one of the benches, and I used to go sit by him. I forgot about that.
The guy in the yellow with the red. That's Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, that guy.
Man, we gotta get out this room. You are killing me. Killing.
Oh.
Killing.
Oh boy!
All right.
One more question before we end this review. Do you think that McDonald's was better when we were a kid, like
100%.
objectively, or is it just that because we were kids, it was like holy?
No,
shit,
the fries were better. The meat was better.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Everything was better.
Everything seemed better when I was a kid over there.
Yeah. Now as an adult, forget it.
Because
all the thrill is gone.
Like there's some things that they stayed the same. Swedish fish, Twizzlers.
I didn't even have Swedish fish when I was a kid.
Oh, I did. We had a corner store, and you could buy them for a penny. So any penny you found was a one
Shout out
fish.
to Moises Funes. He stole the first pack of Swedish fish. You get right off the 5 train. There's a little bodega right outside the 5 train.
Yeah.
Moises was a kind of a bigger fella.
He stole
fat.
it? Yeah.
So he used to wear these big giant coats, and then he used to come out with 19. He'd be like, what's up? He'd bless everybody. That's what he called it.
He blessed everybody with his stolen goods.
Oh, yeah. So that was the first time I ran into Swedish fish.
Goodness.
I was like, yo, what's this? She was like, you don't know what Swedish fish are? I'm like, yo, what's good? I was like, oh, this is great. The syrup is great. Yeah. But anyway, shout out to Moises Funes, you thieving ass. He never got it. He got away with it, though. He never got caught. Not once. He was a light skin dude out of all of us. So he was like Puerto Rican. So he got away with murder. Shout out to the homie. All right. Having said that, Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.
Next up, Earl Sweatshirt.
Earl Sweatshirt. Yeah, that was the one called Faucet, right? Earl Sweatshirt. The name of the song is called Faucet, y'all. The name of the song is called Faucet. We will catch you on the other side. Check me. I instantly forgot how to do that. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch. Buy our merch. I am Sori. Vin's on his way. We are about to start the third song of our DJ stream. A DJ stream is where we go live and you get to watch us do live reactions. That's what we're doing right now. If you're a square and you're watching this in YouTube carols, then that's too bad for you. But for us, here we are. We're about to do Earl Sweatshirt, and the name of the song is Faucet.
Faucet, ladies and gentlemen. We do have the lyrics on screen, I believe. Having said that, dear listener, we're going right into it. This is Earl Sweatshirt. I've never heard of this guy before, Earl Sweatshirt.
Me neither.
So shout out to Negative Vibes for... see, one of the reasons that we do the DJ streams is because this is one of the ways we get introduced to songs that that would have never gotten in on the channel. Now, this definitely wouldn't have gotten in on the channel because it's a rap song and it's a metal reaction channel. I've been out of the rap game for a while, so the only rapper I am really, really familiar with right now is Meek Mill. But shout out to the homie.
Yeah. Hey, we got a couple of super chats that we probably want to shout out.
Shout out to Chris. Hey guys, long time since I've been in a live stream. How you been? We've been doing pretty good. A little bit better now that you're here, Chris. We appreciate you. Shout out to all the loyalists, and then obviously the big homie Zombie Chat. Now she wants a donut.
Yeah,
if you want to know,
you were escaping so you could go get a donut.
If you want to know why she wants a donut, you're gonna have to rewind.
You're gonna have to check out Aesop Rock Fryerstarter.
Not to be confused with Aesop Rocky, which now Fryerstarter makes even more sense. Shout out to Pony. And here we go, guys. This is Faucet by the big homie Earl Sweatshirt. Let's go. Oh, he's got the lyrics up there too. Okay.
Sweaty grazing your faculty. Face getting gray from the ash, but I'm laughing, that's for tracing me, nigga. Fuck out my face while I'm thinking. Ain't step foot up in my mama place for a minute. My day's numbered. I'm focused heavy on making the most of them. Feel like I'm the only one pressing to grow upwards. Still fuck you and whoever you show up with. Trying to see an image, some steady your hands. Who you calling your mans? Bet you thought he was solid. Really just sand washing away with the water. I'm a land mammal staying away from the altar. Shit changing to August. In the wake of that August, last autumn the leaves fell and I raked in a profit. Disobeying the doctor. The good guy prescribed fate never caught him. Chasing these rappers, whole face in a faucet. Yeah. And I don't know how else to call home lately. I hope my phone break, let it ring. Toe to toe with the foes, new and old, basic hoes trying to.
Okay, I'm gonna start this over because I didn't get the lyrics, and I want the lyrics. So we're gonna start it over. It's a 3-minute song. If you don't like it, you need to be patient. I don't know what to tell you. We're gonna do it over again because I want to hear everything that this guy's saying. So hold on, guys. We're going right back into it. Shout out to the big homie Earl Sweatshirt. Name of the song is Faucet. We're going right back in. Now let's go.
Chef Sweaty grazing your faculty. Face getting gray from the ash, but I'm laughing, that's for tracing me, nigga. Fuck out my face while I'm thinking. Ain't step foot up in my mama place for a minute. My day's numbered. I'm focused heavy on making the most of them. Feel like I'm the only one pressing to grow upwards. Still fuck you and whoever you show up with. Trying to see an image, some steady leaves fell and I raked in a profit, disobeying the doctor. The good guy prescribed fate never caught him. Chasing these rabbits, whole face in a faucet, yeah. And I don't know how else to call home lately. I hope my phone break, let it ring. Toe to toe with the foes, new and old. Basic hoes trying to cage them like the pole. When I run, don't chase me. And I don't know how else to call home lately. I hope my phone break, let it ring. Toe to toe with the foes, new and old. Basic hoes trying to cage them like the pole. When I run, don't chase me. Solid so the funds don't phase me. On tour wildin' by the truck stop races. Hard as finding me a common thread between us. Raised different, my mama, she born bred the leader. Get shit poppin' like the guns off safety. Saying easy and doing harder when you get caught up. Raised neck and neck with Knox, so I'm a fluent brawler. Rain checking on your plot if ever bread should pop up. Out the toaster, I gotta focus. My family problems shrunk and widened with the bumps in my personal finest. It hurt cause I can't keep a date or put personal time in. Or reverse to the times when my face didn't surprise you. Before I did the shit that earned me my term on that island. Can't put a smile on your face through your purse, your pocket. Shit in a pile, never change. I'm stupid for trying still, just too busy wildin'. And I don't know how else to call home lately. I hope my phone break, let it ring. Toe to toe with the foes, new and old. Basic hoes trying to cage them like the pole. When I run, don't chase me. And I don't know how else to call home lately. I hope my phone break, let it ring. Toe to toe with the foes, new and old. Basic hoes trying to cage them like the pole. When I run, don't chase me.
Wow.
Doesn't that seem like a beat that we would end up picking to do something with?
Well, yeah, I would definitely do that. Mm-hmm. This is the hip hop I grew up with. Like, I'm not saying this is what hip hop was real hip. I'm not saying that because like I like some of the new shit. Some of the
You like that mumble rap, baby?
No, the mumble rap. I don't understand it. I'm not gonna say it's trash. I'm gonna say I don't understand it. I'll say it that way. And when I say I don't understand it, I mean I don't understand the appeal of mumble rap because I came from
how anyone could like that.
You had a reserved beat, but you were just like trying to chill to. That you were like you're riding on the subway and that's like when most you come up with your shit. You know what I'm saying, you're on the subway or whatever, and then whatever. But this is what he says about the song. I outgrew my house when I was 16. I got back. I tried to live there, so I was out. So me and my mom were kind of on weirder speaking terms. Oh. I would go for like a month without talking to her. It's a song Faucet that touched on it really, really well. That was the ones I didn't write on. That's also some shit that happened on this album. A couple of them. I didn't have to write. Like, that's how I was with the music shit. So, like, yeah.
Someone else did? Or he's saying
nah,
he basically wrote himself?
He just can't. You know how, like, you hear the beat and you go, and then, like, I come out.
Yeah, I mean, that only happened to me a couple times, but yeah.
And I come out with the song. But,
yeah.
That's how I usually write. But, like, you get an instrumental and, like, you're just riding on the subway. And the subway, like, has its own kind of beat because of the, it's hitting the tracks at a certain, like, tempo or whatever. And so that's, like, a lot of guys come up with shit like that. Like, so.
Okay.
So this is kind of like the wheelhouse. This is like perfect for me. Like when I'm tuning guitar, it's got the E and it's like right in the middle. It's like, yes. Mm-hmm. This is what I came up with. I'm not saying it's like superior. I'm just saying like it's a reserved beat and you're just rapping about your life and all the rest of it. Like, boom. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
That's I'm not even going to comment on the Public Enemy thing, the Fight the Power thing. I actually didn't really like Public Enemy growing up, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, like this is real. This is like the rap that I like. And so like if you look at this lyrics, what he's saying, he said, "I don't know whose house to call home lately," and so that's like a major point of the song. Is that
that's sad.
Well, I mean, it's the...
He's saying he doesn't know where to call home?
I don't think it's sad because there's that whole adage like you can never go back home in the sense that, you know, you outgrow that. Mm-hmm. And so what you called home when you were a kid, even when you go back there, it's not like that. It's not the same. And I don't think that's sad because from a biblical perspective, it's supposed to be like that. For this reason, a man leaves his father and mother and he cleaves to his wife and two become one flesh. You have to start your new life. So I think God wired that into the system because if you could go back home and have everything be like when you were a kid, you were dependent on your parents. Mm-hmm. So if you could go back home and everything could be exactly like how you were when you were a kid.
They didn't raise you well.
Well, it's not so much they didn't raise you well. It's just the impetus to strike out on your own and make your way for yourself as a man or a woman in our current context. It would be difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like it would be a lot more difficult for you to strike out on your own because, you know, if you could go back and everything would be the same, then it's not like that. But it's never like that. It's never like that. And, you know, there have been so many books that have been written about that and about like coming of age and getting to the point where you go back and it's not the same. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's sad. I do think it's sad. I'm not saying it's not sad to a degree, but I think that's one of those situations. It's not something that can be avoided. Mm-hmm. And it's part of growing up. It's part of growing up and, you know, understanding that's how life is, and that's how life is supposed to be. Like even like the tension between him and his mom. Like I don't know exactly what's going on in his personal life with his mom, but there is sort of that tension that you have with your parents, where you kind of had it the last kind of year that you were living there.
What do you mean?
Like
I just saw somebody's rating, and I just
there's a certain member of your family.
I rated 4 sweatshirts.
There's a certain member of your family that, you know, when you were living there, like the last year, like you wanted to get out of there.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
because there's that whole like I'm becoming a man or I'm becoming a woman, and you're trying to treat me like a child, but then the parent's gonna say, well, you're still living under my house, roof, and I'm paying the, you know what I'm saying? So, what do you want? Go ahead. What were you saying? This was written in 2015.
Yeah, I think like when I see movies or whatever, and the child like returns back. Well, they're an adult and they return back to their home and their room is still there.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
But you don't. You think that that's unhealthy? I love that.
I don't
I wish so. There's so many times.
I don't even think about that.
But that's because you think that's because you moved around all the time.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Like I had one room for like all my time was spent in that.
We just got done watching Brokeback Mountain, and the guy that died, like they kept his room like exactly the same from when he was a boy.
Yeah.
But when you walk into the room, it's very interesting because it's cowboys and all these you know markers of masculinity, and it's like, oh,
that's what.
Well, you did that because you were trying to project something about your son because you could never really truly accept him. Mm-hmm. So to me, so I didn't really think about that, but go ahead. Like I
mean,
when I see that stuff, I'm just like, I think there's something like weird about the parents.
Like I agree.
The parents haven't been able to let go of the kid. Like,
no, I agree with that.
It's like, that's strange to me.
I agree with that. There's just, I think, like for me, I hit a certain point where my bedroom, it was like my haven. You know, certain people didn't really step foot in there. I was pretty much on my own when I was in there, and eventually my parents had bought us each like a stereo, like a boombox.
Yeah.
Basically, they had bought us one of those for Christmas, and we were allowed to listen to like whatever tapes they gave us, but obviously any device they give you has a radio. Yeah. So when I hit a certain age, I would play other music. I think I was like 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there. Like I would just turn it down super low and play stuff. If I played something that didn't sound Christian, it'd be a knock on the door. What are you listening to? Shut that off, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And you didn't have to be listening to it very loud. Like you had, like, I think if they heard any sounds, they listened to hear if it was Christian or not.
Yeah.
Because they really thought music was like a very, very heavy negative influence if it wasn't Christian. So anyway, like my room was like that safety spot for me. Like there's so many days that I can remember that where I was like whatever, like not doing good, and I would go into my room, and I had the front side of the house where the sunlight shone in.
Yeah.
And that room had 3 big windows in the front and 1 on the side, so it was like just windows all over the place, and so much sunlight came into that room. And you know how I am about sunlight. Sun just beamed right in that room, and I had a nice big queen size bed, and I would just lay on my bed and write in my journal for like hours.
Is he talking about his room, or is he just talking about his mother's house?
No, I was just saying, like, having a spot, like, knowing that you have a spot. Like, I feel weird when I go back to my parents' house, too. Like, but I always think the reason I feel weird is because it's totally different. Like, they've remodeled friggin' everything. So it doesn't even, it's like the shape of my old house, but like nothing in it is, you know, if your parents like move, and then you'll see like people will go back to their old house and they'll be like, oh, this used to be my room and this is blah. It feels like that. I feel like I'm in a stranger's house, and it's just, and the other thing too is, you know, when you're a kid, stuff seems bigger than it actually is. And then when you go back as an adult, you're like, whoa, like that hallway used to feel so friggin' long going to my room. And now I'm like, no, it was a really short hallway. And when I go in there, it just has this weird, like, I don't know, something happens inside my head, like, where I just feel this like weird sort of weird feeling, because everything is, like I said, shaped the same, but looks completely different.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean.
But I don't think, I agree. Like I do think that would be weird for a parent to do. Sorry if there's any parents out here watching that have like a room set up like that still. Like, it does sound like, okay, you're not trying to let your kid go. Like, they're not a child or a baby anymore. Like, you know, I think it's a great idea to keep, you know, their favorite toys and stuff like that from when they were kids, so that when they're an adult and they have kids of their own, they can pass those on. I always loved sharing my toys with the kids, the few things that I had left.
Well, he says, ain't step foot in my mama place for a minute. My days are numbered. I'm focused heavy on making the most of them. I feel like I'm the only one pressing to grow upwards. And still fuck you and whoever you showed up with. Just trying to see an end and some steadier hands. Who you calling your mans, but you thought he was solid when he was really just sand. Like, he goes back there and like nobody's trying to grow.
Oh, is that what he's trying to communicate?
Well, that's what he says. He says, I'm the only one pressing to grow upwards.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I did see that line. Yep.
So and then his man's still there, and everything is like, oh yeah, it's the same, but at the same time, like, you're the same dude, you're the same unreliable guy who can't like progress forward. And that's kind of like, it's cool, like, talking to, I had a conversation with actually one of the homies from way back in the day, one of the guys that talk about all the time on the channel, but me and him were talking on Sunday, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Sunday. I was going for a ride, and I was talking to the homie. We had, it was a really good chat, but, like, he's got a couple businesses he's doing and things like that, and I got a couple businesses, and him and the other homie are still in the band. They're in the band, they're making music and all this, and it's like there's some growth there. Like, growth isn't necessarily like a regional thing. Like, oh, he's in a different place. Because New York is, where are you gonna go after New York? I mean, you can only go down after New York. That's how New Yorkers think. That's the way that we think.
Really?
Like, yeah, like, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. So when you're in New York, you really truly believe that. And honestly, like, life over here is simple compared to over there. Like, there's so many things. You just get up and go wherever you want to go, and you don't worry about what time it is. You don't worry about, you're not, I left. There's shit you can't leave home without in New York City. So, like, at least where we were coming up. So, like, it is an easier way to live, but at the same time, like, it keeps you sharp. Like, and I could tell, like, he's still sharp. And there's that whole continuity. Like, he's still the same dude, and I'm still the same dude, but at the same time, like, he's got a kid, and, I thought that was never going to happen.
Oh, really?
I never thought it was going to happen. Like, because kids take a lot out of you, and they take a lot from you, but they give a lot to you as well.
Yeah.
But when you're immature and you're young, all you think about is what the kid is going to take from you.
Mm-hmm.
And a kid has that kind of effect, like, where you're just going to go out there and, like, oh, it's going to take this and that from me. But, like,
it's true. Yeah.
He's talking about, like, grinding because he's pushing past, he's working in to get a profit. He's not listening to his doctor. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the shit you do when you're a man and you're trying to grind. I don't know whose house to call home lately. I hope my phone break. Let it ring. Toe to toe with the foes. New and old. Basic hoes. Try to cage him like the Poe. Like, the girls haven't changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, I was, you know, obviously, inevitably, it comes to talking about girls, and it's kind of the same over there. Like, it's kind of the same over there. Like, it's kind of the same type of situation. And so he was like, yeah, I just need to go to somewhere different, man. And you know, he was asking me about the caliber of girls in Maine or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I mean, you know, but the hood is a hood wherever you go. Like, if I brought him down to, you know, Russell Street or whatever, me and him were talking because there was this giant drug dealer guy who we watched movies about, we heard songs about, and apparently, like, this dude was living, like, literally, like, right next door to me. When I first, I lived, like, right there. Are you not saying
his name for a reason?
Well, Alpo was the guy's name. I just doubt anybody here would know who he is. But the dude's name was Alpo, and he was in a witness protection program. They literally sent him up to our city, and, like, literally, we must have ran into dude, like, and we watched, you know, I grew up, like, hearing songs about this dude, Harlem World, because Mace.
Even I heard of Alpo.
Mace was my favorite rapper. So, like, he was straight from Harlem. Like, are you sure you knew Alpo the drug dealer or Alpo the dog food? There's dog food called Alpo.
No, not the dog food.
He wasn't called Alpo up here, though.
Okay, that's all. I just know I've heard the name Alpo for... I would have told you. If somebody said, you have to tell me who he is, I would have said he was part of the mafia. So maybe, is there another Alpo part of the mafia or something?
Well, he wasn't part of the mafia.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying maybe I'm thinking of...
Yeah,
is there somebody like Al Pacone or something like that? Maybe that's something. Al Patrone?
Al Pacino?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Patron is a drink.
It can't be that one.
Just stop.
It can't be that one. I was just going by what I had heard.
Stop it. Yeah, so anyway, like, it was cool, like, reminiscing with him because, like, he had...
Al Capone.
Al Capone is like a world famous mobster. Like,
right, that's what I just said. I said I think that I got it mixed up and I was thinking about a mobster. That's where I didn't hear of that guy. I heard of that guy when you told me about him. But it did freak me out though when you told me, because I was like, wait a minute. That's true. If I was doing the witness protection program, I would absolutely send people to Lewiston, Maine.
100%. 100%.
Suddenly I didn't feel quite so...
Well, I mean, look, you end up in WITSEC because you're, you know...
Yeah.
You don't have it in you to do that kind of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like those boys, you know, you're not trying to... And he was, from all accounts, he was a nice guy, never gotten any altercations.
No, he was not a nice guy, though.
I'm saying their experience of him here, like, he was a good dude. Like, he would help his neighbors. He was always helping his neighbors. They were sad when he left. Like, he was always taking care of everybody. So, I mean, you know, it's... But anyway, we were just talking about back... And you really, you know... Mace, M-A-S-E. Doug... The Mace was from Harlem, right? So there was beef between Harlem rappers and Brooklyn rappers. So Brooklyn rappers were, you know, Jay, B.I.G., that type of guy. And then you had Mace and Cameron, Dipset, all those guys. Okay. Those guys were from Harlem. The only reason they came together was because Puff signed Big, who's obviously a Brooklyn rapper, and he also signed Mace, which is obviously a Harlem rapper. And then when Mace came out and blew up, everybody in New York was trying to rap like Mace. Mm-hmm. Like, to this day, my rap style is just straight up a Mace copy, but nobody knows because nobody really is familiar with Mace's style. And Mace came out with this record, Harlem World. It was really his only record. He came out with another record after that, but Harlem World was like the real, like, Mace. Like, that shit was hard, bro. Look at you and look at us. Your guns never bust. Harlem bringing with the thrush. Man, you better hush. I could be inside the cage. You could still get touched. Mace was crazy. And then he went to Co-op City where we went to school, and the Section 5 dudes robbed him, took his chain after that. Like, all of his street cred went down the window. Anyway, shout out to Mace. The point of that song that I got from the song was, you really, really cannot go home again. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. I think it's a consequence of, like, growing up and being a man. And so, all your old homies, your mom, and all that, like, if they're in the same place, like, that's not good. Like, if I left 20 years ago and I come back and you're in the same place, you're the same person. And you can just reintegrate with your parents. Like, if Dorian could just come in here and reintegrate, like, But see, it's different because we're kind of raising them to be adults like while they're here. You see what I'm saying? And so like it's kind of like one long running conversation. And the other thing is like he doesn't get treated like a child. They don't. They start getting treated like kids. Like I don't know, probably 4, 5, 6 years ago. So you know, I don't know. It might be a little bit different. Or maybe I'm just saying that because they're my kids and I don't want to let them go. But anyway, I think it's a really good song. It's a good coming of age song. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
It has escaped me now.
$MA $sign.
No, I was gonna say for movies and shows when we're like, there's no character development here.
Yeah.
That makes a bad movie. So
Yeah.
It also makes for a bad life. You need to have character development.
Yeah, you got to develop. Yeah, you got to develop, and so a lot of times that means that you can't really go back home and like have that exact same experience. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Shout out to Earl. That's a solid 9 for me.
9. Okay, I'm gonna go with a solid 9. I would have rated it higher if I could like feel the lyrics, but lyrically, I just wasn't really.
I felt it because
You should have written a love story or something instead.
Yeah. I felt it because it put me right back on the 5 train going home. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I bet.
And that was like
Yeah.
that was important for me. It's a good reminder. It's a good reminder of what it was like. And unless you're in that situation, like you really truly are never gonna really understand like how that feels being on that train. It's like a lot of nostalgia, a lot of really good nostalgia. Because it wasn't all bad in the hood. Like there is room for a lot of nostalgia in the hood. It's hard to explain because even when you're on the train and you're feeling the rhythm of that, and I used to go by Yankee Stadium, so like there was always like that little 3-second gap where you could see like into the stadium as the train is going, and that was just normal everyday shit. Now it's like, Dorian. If Dorian was like that, he would be like, "It's a historic Yankee Stadium and all that." Yeah, Shine. Shine was around for 2 seconds. Then he got in the beef at the tunnel and he shot up all those people, and then he got put in jail, and Puff let him take the rap, but that's how Puff is. Anyway, Vin out.
Sorry out.
Go. Oh, the nostalgia makes me want to drive to New York City right now. All right, dear listener, we got another song coming up for you, beautiful people. It is on the way. Negative vibes coming through for all of us. We coming right back to y'all. Commercial break. I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
Rubbish. That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch. Buy our merch indeed. I am Sori. Vin is on his way, and we're in the middle of a DJ stream. This one is for Negative Vibes. Oh, there it is, up there. Negative Vibes. The next song on our list is by a group called Shad. The song is called Epilogue.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's.
Think it's Shade?
I don't think it's a group. I think it's just a one dude, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about him, so.
It's Long John. He probably means long joint, which means this song is going to be longer than normal for a rap song, I think is what he means to say. As Negative Vibe just said, it's just one guy.
Chat with him for a second because I want to make sure that the food is being cooked for you.
Okay. Yeah, guys, it is 10:56 p.m. and I have not eaten. So she's going to make sure that I'm eating. Shadrach Kobango. Oh, that's interesting. Buy our Modoc merch. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Maybe we should have a remix. I called you fat, but look at me, I'm skinny. Never getting stopped from me from getting busy. Okay. I'm probably jumping into the middle of some conversation I shouldn't have jumped into. Anyway, dear listener, this is the DJ stream run by the big homie Negative Vibes. And it is about to go down. Okay, so let's check it out. This is Shad. Epilogue. And the name of the song is Epilogue. Long John. This is the long joint, I think is what he's saying.
Oh, he got rid of his water jug. He's doing something a little less odd.
This is 64. So you do it times 2 and it'll get you to your gallon of water a day. And I've been doing it religiously for about a month, and it's having great effects. I commend it to you, dear listener. But anyway, let's try this out, shall we? Shad, Epilogue, Long John, let's go. Oh, I love the beats. I love the beats.
But really I'm sick of rapping, but really I miss the passion, you feel me? I miss the scene, you feel me? I miss the action, I miss touring, miss America, miss the pageant. I'm still married to that dame, or the game is Mrs. Jackson to me. Rappers love talking, it's epic. When we talk of our exit from showbiz, nobody noticed we left it. Was hedging bets at the school of Texas, holding Rolexes and Lexuses. Just a second, I got a test, but I'm blessed. I got to live and learn, literally. Did a term, then went to gig and earn, just let it burn. Words I could grow up, no, I don't mean grow pot, I mean getting that dope though. I still gotta grow lots, live real stories, grow plots. They wanna mow crops and grow guap and find some Botox robots to co-op. But y'all know me, don't stop. I just go off, I stay on point. For the heads is cuts and mohawk, for heads is headstrong, and heads with dreads on and white cornrows, although that's dead wrong. But listen, this is all inclusive for all humans, just for y'all amusement. Music for the blue collar dudes and all the college students. I'm Paul Wall in 05 and I'm car pollution, and I'm James Harden hooping all meaning I'm a problem, Houston. A constant nuisance, I cause confusion. Hold on, this song's long as a constitution. It's just I got a lot of thoughts that are hard to explain. I'm trying to try a little tender, but I'm hard in the brain. Hard-headed thoughts darken and charred in the flame. I'm talking black, pardon the slang. But the flame is like flock of young men, always gotta go hard in the paint. We talk foul and offensive, they call charging the game. But even activists targeting targets and chain stores can get chained to the same war, same arms taking aim. Arm, leg, arm, head, we all the same. One race feeling safe when we start in our lanes. On our march till that gun spark reminds us of young scars, makes us all start to run far from the pain. So we take off and we hide and we harbor the shame. And as we grow older, damn, it only gets harder to change. It's getting heavy, I don't wanna let my people down. I'll fight the evil within until I'm beneath the ground. Sleeping sound, that's my deepest vow. Till I take my deepest bow, I'll keep reaching out through these speakers now. Gary told me my album should be called Food Court, cause I only talk about food justice and hoop scores. But on my Jordans this morning without a shoehorn, played a couple games and debated the use of brute force versus new forms of abuse to make us produce more. Over cold pizza and a lukewarm 2-4. The poor gotta eat, so like first ball we shoot for it. I'm just trying to remember that life is too short. Every second's precious, let's stay up like due north of New York, where my homegirl's trying to quit with the Newports, and my dude's trying to keep the food portions down to 2 courses. I'm trying to build with a lady you maybe move towards forming a team. That's my last reference to sports. I promise I'm through, these women are getting too bored. Calling this dude court. Hold on. Just keep it going. Yeah, now the last time I was rocking this, I was rocking a diamond tee, rhyming like rockets would sign him, but dreaming of rocking that diamond Rockefeller before Barack was presiding over the Oval Office. To go to Iraq, I was grinding it. I still beloved. Up in front of the public, juggling subjects and couplets is funny. My stomach plummets right before every time that I'm fine when some drums hit. Drumsticks in buckets backstage with Subway sandwiches. Man, I'm lucky as what? This is what I do for the ducats. No soul sucking for pay stubs, I'm nobody's puppet. Now I'm buzzing cause this stuff is in my blood like an IV. But just cause I love it, it's not my ID. I mean, I'm wrapped in these rhyme schemes and I rap to define me, but rap doesn't define me. Trust that I'll be fine when the shine leaves. Dudes used to say, would you rhyme please? They had to push me to start like they couldn't find keys. Now I'm regarded the most rewinded Rwandese. London born, but not that one renowned for the grime scene. Yeah. Check it out. I'm sending this one to my fam and my old friends and fans who follow all the tweets that I don't send. My man G is on the net, no goaltend. My plan B, I just left cause I goes in. I'm into 30 for 30 docs and 30 rock. Why? Cause I'm 30 and cause I'm kind of a nerdy jock. I remember before Jigga made 30 hot and I still front on Justin a little cause of that dirty pop. I had CeeLo on cassette back when he would rap. Sitting up in my room with that Moesha track. That was back when North America made cars. Now inner cities look like outer space. We only make stars. I remember we didn't care when we ate carbs. I remember dreaming of that day when we would take charge. I'm seeing the seeds of future change right now in the present. As we work in our fields here, grounding a message in real life lessons, getting right down to the essence. And we water that like a fountain when we're counting our blessings, sharing the hopes of our hearts and the doubts and the questions. See the seeds sprouting the trees that leave thousands of fresh ones. Haven't got there yet, but I found some direction. I'm not a Catholic, but these tracks is a sound of confession. It's like I said them and heaven sent down a postcard over a large ocean of doubt via Coast Guardian angel just saying we're okay. We've all broke hearts, broke parts, fought and hurt, drank and smoked darts. We're all victims, we're all innocent, no charge. You're free to be who you are, now go and don't harm. The world is so starved for you being unique. As cliche, but it often is with the truth. See, it's nothing too deep and it's nothing new. We all knew it as youth. Seems we just forgot as soon as we grew a few feet. That's why I like to say remember to remember. That's why I like to play my fingers on that fender. That's why I write and play to try to find the light of day in these dark winter nights and bravely bring it to the center. Still some say it's hood nonsense, no good conscience. They got it twisted, it's hood conscious and good nonsense. But check the comments, some supporters got enough hate. My fans don't post I love Shad, they just say Drake. I got no problems with Drizzy of course, and I'm not vexed I can't cop with Drizzy of fours. I'm all good, I even got to give to the poor. And T.O. knows I'm like a Benz in the city of fours. Rob, I'm thinking they're bored with the backpack and like, is he done yet? They're waiting on that hit like Phil Collins with the drum set. In the air tonight, I'm heavy as 2 tons head, sleeping on a kid. I'm breaking down they bunk beds and raising hell like Rev Run said. Watch them stalk his prey and walk this way, slow as the undead. I keep it 100 till sunset, till there's not one breath in my lungs left. The undisputed #1 S. This is a new act called Sinner and Saint, where the singer covers inner pain with glitter and paint and delivers his statements with wit and with vigor and haste. They say the entertainers like Cedric, except thinner and great. I'm playing, I'm not a comedy king. Obviously rap bothered me, sorta like Pop's rap. On comments be my policies, quality over quantity, real. Almost at it. My policies, quality over quantity, real girls over drama queens, real world over college dean philosophy, honesty over shock, real thoughts over knocking beats, real talk, it's over when I drop the beat. Yeah, that's good.
That's cool. He made a mistake at the end and he kept it in. He's like, just run it again. And then he kept it in there. Shout out to the homie. I've never, to be honest with you, I never heard of this.
And his buddy that was saying, you know, hold on, yeah, go some more. And then at the end, he was like, that's good. That was cute that they had that in there, too.
That was his buddy?
Well, it sounded like a different voice to me.
Nah.
What?
When he said I almost had it, he's saying he almost had it done in one take.
No. At the end, the guy says something at the end. He said...
Okay.
He didn't?
He said, that's good. I think he's talking about his own shit. I think what happened was, like, he missed the take, and then he missed that last line. And so he's like, shit, let me do it again. But they kept it. They usually
sounded
like
different.
They usually like edit that. They usually like edit that part out. But they, he kept it
the
in
whole
there.
thing.
But Doug Johnson goes, this is my shit. This dude, it's funny because this is long for a rap song. That's why he said Long John. Mm-hmm. So what was that, like 6 minutes in that song?
Oh, I don't know.
That song was like 6 minutes long. So I don't know. that's long for a rap song. It's kind of funny because it's true. Like you're unless it's a Wu-Tang song where there's like 9 people in the group, and so everybody has to say something. I mean, honestly, like Wu-Tang could have cut their album by like 50% because I don't really feel like a lot of those guys were really that good, to be honest with you. Like some of some of the shit that they would say was just like, nah, bro. Like for example, Triumph. Like the first verse on Triumph is probably like the most. It's in the top 3, one of the best verses of all time. Mm-hmm. I'm partial to Biggie. I can't stand Wu-Tang. So that verse on Triumph, the first Bomb Atomic League.
Yeah.
Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define how I've been dropping these mockeries. Lyrically perform armed robbery. That's probably the greatest verse of all time. But I'm gonna give it to Big because of that song he did with Bone and Biggie. That verse, Armed and Dangerous. Both of those songs are like they both came out the same year, '97. Both of their albums went like head up with each other, like boom. But that verse is probably that's probably the best verse of all time. But I'm not gonna give it to him because it's Wu-Tang. Mm-hmm. But him and then Method Man came next as the world turned. I spread like germs. Bless the globe with the pestilence. A hard head and never learned. Like okay, great. All the rest of the verses after that were trash. They were trash. They were absolute garbage. And I don't care how big of a hip-hop head you are. Only Wu-Tang Clan fans know that song after verse 2. Like, so
really?
my point is, Wu-Tang to me is one of the most overrated, like, hip-hop acts of all time. But the original point was, you're not going to hear a rap song that's 6 minutes long. Generally speaking, you're just not. Because it's usually verse, chorus, and it's usually 16 bars, and that's it. And they'll even say, like, my 16s are better than your 16s. It's like, that's it. That's all it is. You know, especially now when I'm starting to notice is these dudes are doing 2 verses. Like that Vaughn song, I mean, I love the song, but, like, they could have done it, like, back in the day, but it's all good. Like, now, like, that Vaughn's, like, cousins, one of my, like, he's talking about, like, one of their ops is their cousins. You talking shit about, but ain't outside. Boy, we on your cousin. Heard your OG just got married. Boy, we on your husband. I hope you niggas bought your guns because we bought a dozen. Boom, boom. They only 2 verses on that song. And Vaughn doesn't even have any. He's got one. No. He's got 1 verse on that song, but it's like 8 bars. So the songs are like 2.5 minutes now. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 minutes, and like I'm cool with that. Like they're able to say what they have to say, and then boom, they're out. See, Davey says, look at that. Mo Murder is my shit. I told you. Right before we go tooling up, we put that shit on. Mo Murder. Bone's another one. Bone Thugs, though, like, they had more than... Bone Thugs is a way better rap group to me than Wu-Tang. I don't even think it's close.
Yeah, I haven't heard enough of either one.
I don't even think it's close.
I
don't even think it's close. And I'm supposed to say the opposite because Wu-Tang is from New York and Bone Thugs is from Cleveland. But I don't even think it's close. Like the shit that Bone Thugs did in 90, 92, 93, there are rap groups right now that have taken that. Like there's this group called Migos. You don't know who they are, but they basically just completely stole all of Bones' style.
Oh, no.
And they've become.
Really?
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, like that shows you, there's nobody biting off of Wu-Tang Clan now. Like nobody's stealing that shit where it's like obviously you took from Wu-Tang, but Wu-Tang, you're just supposed to say you like them because that gives you like your hip hop bona fides. But I never liked Wu-Tang. Never. I just thought they were just completely overrated. I don't think that they were as good as everybody said that they were. But that's just my opinion.
I remember one time that we were at a restaurant and like you and this waitress started talking about Wu-Tang. Remember?
Yeah.
And I was like, because I had no input in the conversation because I didn't know shit about it. And then you guys had like a back and forth conversation about it. And then she left. And then you were basically saying, she doesn't know them because she just talked about like the one main song that they had.
Yeah. So when she came back, I was like, yo, what's your favorite Method Man song? She had no idea. I was like, I told you, she don't know shit. She ain't no fucking Wu-Tang Clan fan. Yeah, but Wu-Tang, yeah, man, I'll go to my grave saying that there is no way that Wu-Tang is even close to being as good as Bone Thugs was. I was better than half of those people in that group. I'm dead ass serious. And so were all my friends. But Bone Thugs, they did something. They literally pushed the art form forward. Like in a completely different, it's people say what they want, almost like what Korn did, although Bone Thugs did something that was like, I would say it added complexity to rap that, like, you had to be able to sing, you had to be able
And
to...
where were they from?
They're from Cleveland.
Oh.
And they were singing, they were rapping, they were singing and rapping at the same time, like, and now Drake, all these guys that are like quadrillionaires now, all that shit started from Bone Thugs.
Wow.
Like, nobody today talks about how Wu-Tang Clan influenced rap. I'm sorry. It was just you just wanted to say that Wu-Tang was good because they were hood and all this shit, but they weren't really. No. And Bone Thugs had like classics, like you can listen right now, Mo Murder. You can listen to Mo Murder right now, and you could actually turn Mo Murder. We should probably do that. We should probably turn Mo Murder into a metal cover. That's what we should do.
Oh man.
Because that song is metal as fuck.
Yes, babe. And like, that would be really good.
And you know. I knew a lot of people. I was like, yo, hit this, G. You had somebody that like before we used to go out, he used to be all like, it's just his hands. There's nothing you could do about it. It's nothing you can do about it. He was the guy was completely squared away. But like that calmed him down. That song calmed him down. And he was very efficient after that.
Well, that takes that James verse to a whole nother level, huh?
He took care of business after that.
Wow.
But this song, I really, really like this song. The name of the song is Epilogue. I'm assuming on this record that this is the last song on the record. Because the name of the thing is Epilogue. So he's just talking about probably like his entire experience with rap. And he says a lot of shit on this song. He was just letting it go.
He said a ton on it.
See right here, it's a Negative Vibe says it was the last song on it.
You're right.
So it starts. What does he say? It starts off. He's saying, "I'm really tired of rapping," is what he says.
I'm sick of rapping. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me try to.
But
get
really,
that.
I miss the passion. You feel me?
Yeah. Go ahead. Say what he was saying, because I gotta
miss the
find
scene.
the
You
actual
feel me?
thing
I miss
here.
the action. I miss touring. I miss America.
There
miss
it is,
the
right there.
pageant. I'm still married to that dame. The game is Miss. I didn't understand that. I'm still married to that dame. The game is Miss Jackson to me. Mrs. Jackson to me.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know what he was trying to say.
But really, I'm sick of rapping. But really, I miss the passion. You feel me? I miss the scene. You feel me? I miss the action. I miss touring. I miss America. I miss the pageant.
I like the way
smart.
that he. Yeah.
That wordplay is crazy.
Because he like brought the A out.
You get it? Miss America? Miss America.
He misses America, but also Miss America, and then he goes on to say the pageant.
I miss America. I miss the pageant.
Yeah.
Right? Like Miss America. I miss America. I miss America. I'm still married to that dame, meaning he's still married to America. He's still American.
Oh.
But he's also still married to the rap game as well. See what I'm saying?
But he said the game is Mrs. Jackson to me.
Yeah. Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Okay.
And remember, it's like forever, ever. You know. So it's a famous line in the song where he's with this. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a million times. So he broke up with this girl, but then there's a line where he says, "We'll be together forever," and then he goes, "Forever, ever, forever, ever."
Oh no!
So he's saying like he's married to the rap game basically. He's gonna be with it forever. That's why he says like the game is Miss Jackson to me, because
I see.
He's with the game forever basically is what he's saying. Rappers love taking this epic when we talk about our exit from
Curb
showbiz.
Your Enthusiasm when they want to renew their vows and she wants him to say like for now and forever, like into eternity.
Yeah.
And he was like, because he just wanted to this life is enough.
Yeah.
It's so terrible.
Like completely practical. Like let's not.
The next life too. I mean.
And then he says, rappers love talking this epic when we talk about our exit from showbiz, so nobody noticed we left it.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh.
Let's hedge your bets at the School of Texas. Hold them Rolexes, some Lexuses. Just a second, I got a test, but I'm blessed. So that's I consider it a marketing tool. Jay-Z was like, this is my last
a marketing
record.
Tool?
Yeah, Jay-Z was like, I'm retiring. This is my last record. And then he had this big thing at Madison Square Garden. And that's what he said, the song from Marcy to Madison Square for the only thing.
Yeah. That one I remember.
But he did. He made like more records after he retired than before. You know what I'm saying? So it was. I look at it as a brilliant marketing tool.
Well, it might be a marketing tool, but it also might be that when you have like the pressure that you have to come out with an album, and then when the pressure is off, maybe you can go back to be like chill about it. You know what I mean? Like you don't have. You said you were done.
Well, it worked so good for Jay that a bunch of rappers started doing it. They started retiring. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
so
Pat,
now nobody believes it?
Well, it's not that nobody, like Pat was talking about retiring. And like, I love Papoose, but like, I'm the only human being on the planet that would care if Papoose retired. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because he's not big enough to retire. And have it mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And a lot of it is like, what's the difference between you just stopped making records and you retiring? Like, I only feel like a couple rappers can actually retire and have it mean something. Like, if Eminem, if Eminem would have, I don't even know why I did that, because we really don't need your computer.
For the lyrics?
You hear yourself?
No, I don't have my thing plugged in.
See, I feel like.
Hello, yes, I hear myself.
Eminem would have retired.
Yeah.
I actually think that would have solidified him as like in the top 5.
Oh yeah, I think
but
you're right.
But the fact that he didn't retire and he kept putting out records and they were just not like they were there's never been a record where Eminem put out like a whack song like, yo, this is trash, like this dude can't rap. I didn't like the whole...
Yeah, but there was one that he did where it was like, there was no theme. It was just a bunch of rhyming words, right?
Yeah, Rap God. But that had a big splash to it because people was like, yo... But like, it got to the point where it's like, oh, he's just stringing words together. He's not really changing with the time. He's not really evolving. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
It was kind of like, you know, whereas like Jay... And that's why I don't really like Jay-Z that much, but I put him as number 1 just because Jay-Z in every era and epic of rap has been able to stay relevant and make it work. Mm-hmm. And like to this day you'll see dudes like still have reverence. I was just watching 21 Savage talking about Jay and all, like he's still in the industry and all the rest of it, where Eminem is kind of like, it's kind of like he hung out in a cave, and he's a better rapper now than he was back then. But as far as like staying relevant, staying with the time, he's having a very hard time doing that because he's not adjusting his style to the current situation that we're in. And so if he would have retired like 5 years ago, that would have been significant. There's only a few rappers where if they were to announce a retirement, like if Eminem did it now, it wouldn't be as significant. But if he did it 5 years ago, it would have been huge.
Right.
If you would have retired 5 years ago and then like went on a tour or whatever, like the Up and Smoke tour final or whatever, or the Gone and Smoke tour or whatever, like that would have been it. Mm-hmm. But because he keeps putting records out and they're all kind of the same, and like his life hasn't really, that's the thing about Eminem. He's like more of a personal rapper. He raps about what's going on personally. You know what I'm saying? And it's very hard because he's pretty much in the same space. Mm-hmm. He's not fighting with Kim anymore. He recovered from his drug addiction. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll still say, you want to talk about lyricism, just plain like lyricism, who can put some words together and like come up with cool punchlines and come up with shit. Like you listen to Eminem like 5 years from now, you're going to find some shit that he said that you missed. Like that you don't understand, that you're like, oh my God, that's what he meant when he said that. Like I'm still doing that with Big to this day. Like that's one of the things that separates like the top guys of all time versus just like flash in the pan type rappers. Eminem's still in my top 5, and if Eminem is not in your top 10, I understand he kind of fell off. If he's not in your top 10, you're a damn liar or you don't know rap. Period. I understand putting Big Pun over him because Big Pun died too early, and lyrically, if you say, okay, who could put which words together, I'd give the nod to Pun. But you cannot put Big Pun as like an overall rapper above Eminem because Eminem has way too much body. His body of work is too large, and his versatility was too much. Like Eminem could do, you know, well, the real Slim Shady Please Stand Up, which I didn't like. I never liked that song because I was in the hood at the time, so like I didn't like any of that funny shit because I couldn't relate to it. But you could not deny that it had, and I don't care that he's white. I don't care. He did it. There were a lot of white people that tried to rap. Like, you know, there was Vanilla Ice and all the rest of it, and he had a little flash in the pan, but he never, I mean, he's a joke now. And people were saying, oh, Eminem's going to be a joke like Vanilla Ice. No. Like,
now, how come he didn't become a joke like him?
Because he's a
Because
real
just
fucking
really
rapper,
good.
man, and
Yep.
just nobody could fuck with him. There was a
Yep.
couple years where there was nobody that could fuck with this dude. I don't
Wow.
care. I don't care. You just nobody could. You know that when he came out with what's that one? At least have the decency in you to leave me alone. You fixing me out in the streets and I'm in your speak. The way I am. Do not come and speak to me. He was really the first guy that mainstreamed, aside from Tupac, mainstreamed emotion in rap. Which is one of the reasons I ended up abandoning rap.
Oh, really?
Was because, like, there was I had so many other different emotions than just like the regular blah, I'm gonna do this and all that. It's like everybody we all did that, and then where's the regret, where's the sadness, where's the PTSD, where's the, you know what I'm saying? It was all just I'm gonna do this and I don't care and all the rest of it, and there was nothing for us after the fact.
Oh man.
So,
wow.
Because you couldn't show any kind of weakness. So Eminem was able to like really put more emotions and shit into the music. You know what I'm saying?
So is that what you think popularized him? Besides the fact that he was just very good at what he did?
Well, no, I mean, obviously, there are obvious reasons for why he was popularized, but
no, I'm saying, do you think that had an effect? Like, I guess my question is, the way that you feel about wanting the emotions more well-rounded, I guess you could say, so that way there's something for after. Then were a lot of people like that, or was that just something that you were kind of?
Well, Eminem wasn't rapping about shooting people because he wasn't a shooter. He wasn't shooting anybody, so he wasn't
you got
rapping
the shooting
about
stuff over there, and then you got the.
He was rapping about the shit he was going through with his mother. He was rapping about being in the trailer park, or not necessarily the trailer park, but being poor and white trash or whatever. Which there was that co-belligerency between us being in the ghetto and all that, and so he was. He had, but it just, the game kind of passed him by, and he never really, you could tell that he was always kind of like in a cave, like working on his craft, trying to be a better rapper, but he never understood, like, but there's other factors. Big was the master of that. I mean, Jay-Z kind of took Big's Big was able to do pop music and still say hard shit in the pop music. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, so, like, that song Hypnotized, it was a pop song,
Okay.
And he's like, at my arraignment, note to the plaintiff, your daughter's locked up in a Brooklyn basement. Face it, not guilty. That's how I stay filthy. Richer than richer till you niggas come to get me. He basically saying, like, he got caught up in trial, and then the reason that he got found not guilty was because he sent a note to the plaintiff and said, hey, your daughter's locked up in a basement, so you make a decision.
Oh my God.
But that's in a rap song. That's Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes and that's on MTV. And they didn't blank out the words. That's the thing. It's like Biggie was a genius because you had these guys that are like Onyx or like these, MOP. You remember that song where they did the Eye of the Tiger? You rap, word to the mommy, edit full charm and get hit with the llama. Fuck Giuliani. That's not going to be played on MTV. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to play it on MTV. No, but Biggie was able to like say that slick shit. So the gangsters were like, oh, okay, I can fuck with this. And then it was MTV and all the white girls were dancing. Everything was cool. Biggie invented that. Jay perfected that, and Eminem didn't have to do that because he was getting MTV, he was getting BET, and then rock stations were playing him. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't have to. So he had advantage, and he took advantage of those things. And good for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't deny that he was, but like lyrically, he's in the top 10. As far as like, is he an artist? Yeah, it's been dropping a little bit because he hasn't been able to, really like move with the times. I don't like Jay-Z, but I have to give the nod to Jay.
But he's also getting old. Like, when I think of rap, I don't think of like an older person rapping. You know what I mean? You think of the young.
Yeah, but Jay-Z is more relevant to hip hop now than Eminem is, and Jay-Z is like 15 years older than Eminem.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You know
Except that when I look at Jay-Z, he doesn't look to me as old as Eminem does. But maybe that's just...
Eminem looks pretty good. He doesn't look old. It's just his style. Like his style is old.
He looks the same as he did.
Yeah, his style is old. You know what I'm saying? He's just because he's like a mad scientist with the lyricism, and I don't care. He's still top 5. But this guy, this guy is basically talking about it like, you know, rappers talking about retiring and all this shit. And it's like, nobody would miss you, bro. But now it's just all, he's saying it's all drama. Now I think if Eminem retired, it would be kind of like a joke. Like, nigga, I thought you were already retired. Yeah. But if you did it 5 years ago.
No, I agree with you. That's what it would have been. It would have been
major. And I think he would have solidified his spot. But
yep, I agree.
You know.
Totally agree.
But he has his moments.
It's like hard, I think, to find that time to say, okay, it's time to call it quits, where it's not waiting too long. It's not going too early, but it's not going too late either. You know, like kind of that's the thing with Tom Brady, where, I mean, for me anyway, I feel like, ooh boy, how far are you going to toe this line before, like, are you going to win your last Super Bowl and then you're going to bow out? Or are you going to do your last Super Bowl and then go for another one and not get it and know that, what, your body's not.
Tom is more like Jay than he is like Eminem. Like, Eminem hasn't had a Super Bowl moment in a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why we're saying he should have done that.
Yeah, he should have retired like Jay did that Black album. Like, that's a critically acclaimed. That was a Super Bowl, and he was like, "Yo, that's it, I'm out." Mm-hmm. And then he did the Madison Square thing, and it like blew up. Like, boom, that solidified Jay. And if he would have done that, like, it would have been great. I'm not saying he's not a good rapper. I'm just talking about for like dudes that are like hip hop heads, that have been hip hop heads, that didn't like come into the culture as a guest. I'm talking about people that were born and raised in the shit, that own the genre. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like whether or not you still like him. I'm talking about like when you put an album up. I don't even know the name of Eminem's latest album. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you know, and you can look at Google Trends. It's not just me. It's just, you know, he's just not. But you still have to say that he's one of the greatest. You still have to say that. I don't care what you say. Like, and if you don't say that about M, then there's other things happening. But at the same time, if you say that he's like on par with Jay, there's also other things happening. Snoop is more relevant than Eminem is, for God's sake. Which I'm not a fan of Snoop either, but it is what it is. Okay. So this kid is, I hate to say it, I don't know who this guy is, but he knows his shit. Like, he can rap, like he was just going off. Remember before Jigga made 30 Hot, and I still front on Justin a little because of that Dirty Pop. Okay, so now he's going back in the day. Remember Justin? That's your guy, Justin Timberlake. Dirty Pop, whatever.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I had CeeLo back on cassette when he used to rap, sitting in my room with with that Moesha track. Moesha was a show. Okay, so this girl named Brandy, she was a singer. All right, and so like she was like, you had Mary J. Blige, and then Brandy was like a young Mary J. Blige. She was like a hip hop R&B type person or whatever.
Has Kevin Samuel said that name?
No.
And when he was giving them the ratings, when he used older things. Anyway,
I mean, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he said
that was back when North America made cars. Now inner cities just look like outer space. We only make stars. Ah, such a good line. So that was back when North America made cars. So like Detroit, right? So Detroit made cars.
Okay.
But then like 2008 hit, and that pretty much destroyed the auto industry. So now inner cities just look like outer space. We only make stars. So it's basically the only hope that you have. The only hope that you have in the inner city, usually, that's a stereotype, is a drug dealer, basketball player, or rap star. Wow. So that's basically what he's talking about. Like, you don't have those other opportunities anymore. I remember when we didn't care, when we ate carbs. I remember dreaming of the day that when we would take charge. I'm seeing the seeds of future change right now in the present, and we're working our fields, like grounding the message. So like, this is like real shit, because this is not just like hood shit. Like, now this is part of just like maybe growing older, becoming more conscious of your health or whatever. But like, it's just about like him growing up and all the rest of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I haven't gotten there yet, but I found some direction. But I'm not Catholic. But these tracks is the sound of confession, which is really cool, because like, in my opinion, that's what art form is supposed to be about.
That just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, in my opinion, that's what rap's supposed to be about. Shad is based in London, Canada, which is right across the bridge from Detroit. Holy smokes.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so he definitely is feeling that. Like, he knows what he's talking about in that regard. For sure. I agree, Goth Mama. I agree. Aaliyah was my favorite. Like, hip hop girl type person because she had that kind of like jockey look. She wasn't really selling sex, in my opinion. She wasn't. Maybe if I look back, she probably was, but she wasn't really selling sex. I really liked Aaliyah a lot. Aaliyah was my favorite one. So yeah, I really like this song because it really takes you back. You could sit and like just like really break down this song for hours.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
It takes so many scrolls to get to the bottom of the lyrics because he said so much in
I know. But he was really on his shit. Okay, I'm gonna give this song a 9.9. The only reason I'm not giving it a 10 is because I wanted that Brother Ali song to win the day because I related it to it so much. But Michelle A. Okay, Michelle A. Michelle A. was a little bit before like I really became hip hop conscious. I'd say that Lauryn Hill is her own category. She is so good that she is her own category.
Oh wow, that's cool. 9.2 for me.
Okay, we got one more, guys. One more. Hold on. We got one more song. Having said that, dear listener, you squares. DJ Mike Franco gives it a 9.8. DJ Mike Franco, by the way, was one of our original DJs.
Yeah. Yep.
For sure. Little Kim was my favorite female rapper for quite some time. She probably is my favorite all-time.
She wasn't selling sex though, was she?
Rapper. No, she was selling sex. But she was a real live gangster. So that's why I loved her, among other reasons. Daniel, don't listen to any Little Kim. Okay? There's that. All right. Having said that, dear listener, Vin out.
Sori out.
Go. Yo, big homie Dan, you should check out that Brother Ali song. That Brother Ali song that we had at the beginning. You should check it out. I actually wish you were here to hear that song, because that would have been some stuff right there. That would have been some stuff right there. Not for youngins. Yeah, man. Yeah, Aaliyah was she was crazy. And she had this like style where she put like one, like she put her hair over her eyes, kind of like an emo style. And I thought that was so cool and mysterious. It turns out she had like a lazy eye, so you know what I'm saying? It's the stuff that happens in Hollywood. But they made lemonades out of lemons, because I always thought that was so like mysterious and cool. I'm like, damn, like look at that, it's amazing, what a cool style. But it was really just to cover up the fact she had a lazy eye. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Killer Mike. Killer Mike is more of a he's more of an activist rapper. Like he's more on the Chuck D type style. Like lyrically, I don't really like. I wouldn't put Killer Mike like even on like a top 10 list. Like I love him as far as activism, but like I don't think he's okay. I don't know why you want to hug, but okay. Yeah, I think he's great for activism. He does a lot of good work for our people. But as far as like lyricism goes, like, I don't know. Yeah, M Death fan is all salty because Eminem's not. I said Eminem fell off. Even though I said he's one of the greatest lyricists of all time. You know how he gets down. So I was like, what's the last Eminem record you heard? That's the point.
Right.
That's the point. Like, you don't have to do that with Drake or Jay or any of those people. That's the point. You got to ask that question. All right, guys.
But he did do some meaningful ones like River.
Yeah. Well, they're meaningful to you. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? That's meaningful to anybody. Like,
well, it didn't really pop. That song didn't pop like for Eminem.
And I think that's because it's a cultural thing. Like our culture accepts abortion, basically wholesale.
I just think that it's because it's past him, man. Like it's just.
Yeah, but you gotta say,
move past him.
You have to say if the majority of the people are okay with cannibalism, and then somebody does a song about how cannibalism's not okay, then people are going to be like, that's not that great of a song.
Nah.
You're moved by something when you believe in it.
No, that was his whole stick. Was he was countercultural. So that was his whole stick, was to go against something that everybody believed in. That's how he made all his money. The reason that it didn't really pop, and it was a great song, but the reason it didn't pop was because the genres just moved past him, man.
That's too bad.
You know, he made a song about police brutality. It was you know what I'm saying? Like it just I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't have it like that anymore. But I still think you got to say he's one of the best. All right, guys, we got one more for you. We got one more
Babe,
for you.
are you able to find the lyrics for this?
Servant. Did he put the lyrics in the thingy?
You know what? I don't.
Let's see if we can find it on commercial. Look at the timestamp, and then we'll be able to find it, inshallah. We got one more song for you, beautiful people. The next song is a metal song, by the way, so it wasn't all hip hop. False advertising. I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village. Facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Is it Wheezy?
Buy a merch indeed. Yeah. It's Wheezy. Just click that one. We're at 5 Finger Death Punch. Bad Company. Well, we're not going to do the official because the official is going to get us banned forever.
But we'll play the official on the side so we can still see it, because I know 5 Finger Death Punch has a lot of really great visuals.
Actually, let me see here. We might be able to actually do the official if we do the Twitter option.
And you're just going to tell everybody we're shutting, so now we're going to Twitter?
Well, I mean, it's for him, so let me see. It looks like, yep. Looks like we can do it. Okay, so we're going to shut this one down. We're going to log right back in on, hey, Kai, I see you.
So Middle Earth, is that what happened? That one was on you guys' list, and then you had to change it because there wasn't a. That was the mistake that happened.
Okay, guys. So here's what we're gonna do now, Davey. I hope you follow us on Twitter, but we're gonna do one more song, especially for the big homie Davey. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna see it on YouTube because you guys know what YouTube will do to us. But there is a way for us to get this on Twitter, and so we're gonna watch it via Twitter. Okay, so the platform we're going to be on in the next 3 minutes is Twitter. It's going to be 5 Finger Death Punch. The name of the song is
thank you, Middle Earth. That saves me a lot of time.
Bad Company. So we're going to watch the official video. This is for the big homie Jay Dewey, who is about to get deployed, by the way. This is for the big homie. So we're going to shut this one down, and then we're coming right back on the Twitters. And we're gonna pull it down from Twitter and edit it and put it up on YouTube. But when we put it up on YouTube, it's not gonna be the official video,
right?
Because you guys know what happens with YouTube and official videos. And by the way, don't ask us, hey, you did that one time. It's a one-off for the big homie. We reserve the right to do that. Please don't assume that we have to do that with everybody. Thank you very much, dear listener. If you're about to be deployed in 5 or 6 days, then you may have a case. Man's about to risk his life.
May. Because I don't know how many people are on this that.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, what's the name of the song?
It's Five Finger Death Punch, Bad Company. Lisa, why don't you do like distance learning? I definitely hear where you're coming from. Another active shooter situation. Very fucking horrible. Once again, we got to figure this shit out in this country. But you can be a distance learner, teacher, right? Because you're about to get your master's. The Twitter account name, let me give people time to figure out our Twitter account name. You actually
we'll
don't need.
Put it on the bottom there.
I don't think you necessarily even need a Twitter account to be able to watch it. It's at Vid and Sori. Like literally, it's just at.
That's so hard.
Vid and Sori, and this is what the icon looks like. Let me see here. Let me airdrop this icon. Yeah.
Actually, is there like a?
Is there a link?
Well, I'm just gonna see if I can just post a link.
Obvious.
Honey, are we here with which one, Google or Apple or what?
What are you doing?
I'm signing into Twitter because I'm gonna see if I can get a link to send right to them.
I don't think Twitter does it that way. This is.
Oh, you mean for sending
this is what our icon looks like on Twitter, guys. Let me see. Boop. Nope, that's the wrong one. Let me send it to Ronnie. I'm not a Clyde. She's not a Bonnie. Boom. Okay. So that's what we look like. We're sending this for the big homie Dewey.
So if.
Or Stewie.
Babe, can you what's happening here?
Can I what?
Here.
What are you trying to do?
If you yeah, right there. Right there. Oh, that's a login.
Right where?
Well, I didn't know if that would work over here, but I don't think it would.
That's what it looks like, guys. Okay.
I was really hoping to get you guys like a clickable link, but
it's honestly, you go to Twitter, you just type in @Vid and Sori. That's gonna be us. We're out of here. We'll see you guys in 2 minutes, inshallah.